impossible. Our great Nigeria is very impossible. And you soon. Obiye, Obiye.
All right, thank you very much, my people. Please stay mute. Somebody is unmuted and there's noise coming from your end. That was Mr. Ike. Please always stay mute. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you very much, everyone. Yes, we need to move on right now and let's talk about the things that's affecting you and I. Thank you very much, my people, for joining us. For those of you just joining us right now, please endeavor to share this broadcast, like the broadcast as well. I appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My God, I God bless you now. I appreciate every one of you. Juno Basaki just joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. Bella Naomi once again. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate every one of you. I can see Terminator right there. Okay, Terminator Extraordinary. Okay, thanks for joining us. God bless you. Your name is unique though. Okay, we already have a super chat from Charles. Is that doing? Thank you very much for the super chat. May God bless you. Thanks for the encouragement, early encouragement. I really do appreciate this. Thank you, thank you. You know, you are giving us more energy to check the table today. Thank you, my people. I appreciate you all. Can see Osagio there say good evening to you. Thanks very much for joining us. Good evening, good evening, good evening to every one of you. Please endeavor to share and like this broadcast. As you all can see right there, Buhari urged Nigerians to vote for any candidate of their choice and any party of their choice. Remember, we said it before on this platform that Buhari, or rather APC, choose Tinubu because they know that Tinubu is the only person that can spend excessively. Yes. Remember, election costs a lot of money. They know Tinubu will spend anyhow, but they don't really want him to be a president. In case you don't know, many of APC people are underground working for Peter Obi. Buhari don't really promote Tinubu like that. He doesn't talk much about Tinubu unless you force it out of him. He always say, I want a credible, free and fair election. I want Nigerians to go and vote for any candidate of their choice. These have never happened before. If you ask a president, he will tell you, vote for my candidates, our candidates. And he will mention the name directly. So we're going to be listening to all this. We have lots of videos today. So I'm going to play three videos at the same time so that we're not going to stay here forever. Thank you very much, my people. Let's move on. But please help us to share now. Let me check how many shares we have here. 1 minute. You see now, I can see we have 6 shares and we have 23 likes. It's not good enough. We already have about 200 people watching us and we have 6 shares and 23 likes. So what happened to the many 170 people? Yes, you know, please do this thing. It can't be like say some people they deliberately do them because you are there. We have 34 likes now. You know, I can see here it's 34, and I believe you can see it as well. It's only our shares you can't see. Now we have 7 shares. You know, we have 35 likes. Press it, please. Press it. Encourage us. As you see, Charles Zedon already super chatted us. That's a full encouragement. The same way your share and likes also encourage us to do more for you. Thank you very much for all of you that have shared. The 37 will be 38 people that I'm seeing right now that have already shared. Thank you, thank you. And for the 8 people that I'm seeing here that have already that have liked, I'll say 44 people have liked. Thank you very much. And 8 people, okay, 9 people now have shared. Yes, you are responding. 46 people now don't like. You see, the challenge is there. 47. See, you're gonna take the share, you're gonna take the like to 100, while we are taking this. Now, God bless you. Now, I really appreciate every one of you, my people. All right. Before we move on, I want us to hear from Nigerians on the streets what they think about this 2023 election and who they want to vote for. I'd like us to take it from here.
100%, and I'm also canvassing for PVC. If you see this face, every day I tell people about PVC.
I am expecting a competent and a focused leader to be our president. I'm preparing. My family is preparing. Every individual is prepared.
I campaign anywhere I go. I have my candidates.
The 2023 general elections is around the corner. Do you have your PVC, and how prepared are you for the election? These are the questions we ask Abuja residents. I am Dr. Fadari for Premium Times. Have you collected your PVC? Do you have a...
Of course, yes.
Of course.
Why should I not have it? I have it. Why should I not have it? It's my present right.
I have.
By the grace of God.
I have my PVC 200%, and I'm also canvassing for PVC. If you see this face, every day I tell people about PVC for the new Nigeria we believe in.
So what are you doing right now to prepare for the general election?
The only thing I'm doing as a president and encourage other Nigerians, I don't care who. I'm not an Igbo man. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. I don't care who is the president of this country. But if you look at the abundant resources of this country, I am expecting a competent and a focused leader to be our president, so that at least you and I can enjoy light. You and I can enjoy free education for our children. At least commodities and every other thing should be as it is in other countries.
I've been active in politics even before coming to Abuja. So, in fact, I campaign anywhere I go. I have my candidates.
I'm preparing. My family is preparing. Every individual is preparing. They want a change in Nigeria. God is going to bring a change, not you bringing a change. All you have to pray to God, give us your leader. We need your leader. Give us a right leader. A leader that will care for the poor, the masses, that will care for people.
The election, I'm fully prepared. I'm prepared. My community has great awareness for them. I'm prepared. I'm going like me. I'm going to booth to booth campaign, market to market sensitization. I'm going to women, rural area. Politics is local. It's not people that are shouting on social media. It's not all the people that are on the street that are shouting. Go to those women in the village. They are the ones that will come out that day and vote. So I'm going to booth for sensitization. I'm also encouraging people now that the PVC is already out. Those that registered the last batch by June is already out by this November. So go to your local government, stay there until they get to your PVC.
As a people, we are rising up to the occasion by sensitizing our people to get their permanent voters card PVC, so that they can elect, decide to employ whosoever they want to employ, that will lead Nigeria, that will lead our various states to the promised land.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. When I hear that one, that is the plight, the concern, the effort of common Nigerians on the streets. A lot of them are already prepared to face this. In fact, someone was actually gisting with me, I think 2 days ago on Thursday, 3 days ago, telling me that in surprise or in visit Nigeria, you can see that a lot of youth now are not into politics. Everybody are concerned. Before, you see Nigerians are watching different things on their phone and all that. When they are home, they are watching movies and all that. But now, everywhere he goes, he spent 2 months in Nigeria. Everybody talking about politics. If you check their phone, they are listening to politics. They are following every single thing. I say yes now, because the pains don't reach all of us here. You don't need to be told anymore. Everybody are tired. That's why you see now that everybody's putting extra effort now to change the narrative. Everybody are involved. Please, I will continue to say, go and collect your PVC so that we can do this together. Let's hear from more people on the streets.
Please, for God's sake, who will elect a man who said, if you say it is your turn, and I am an encumbrance for you to realize your purpose or somebody whose turn it was, you should just tell me it's my turn, I should give way. Now, let us look at the antecedents of Tinubu. Number one, the man denied his name. The Bola Tinubu Ahmed, Chicago, as attested to, is a female, is not himself. He denied his state of origin and even his age. He has a daughter who is 61 years and he said he's 70 years. You can imagine all these things. And his certificate, everything about Tinubu is fake. I just feel bad that that man who ought to have respected himself as an elderly man and sat somewhere came out. Even when he comes out to talk, you as a young man know that this man is not healthy. Even in the APC caucus, they have asked him to step down. He said no, it's his turn. If somebody says it's his turn, let him just go to the villa and assume governance because it is his turn. You understand? So if you talk of Tinubu, he ruled Lagos State and he keeps saying that he made Lagos State, whereas he milked Lagos State, converted so many assets of Lagos to his own. The records are there. And Ambode came and began to perform very well. Tinubu now removed him. We all know the story. He said Ambode deviated from the blueprint of Lagos. What is the blueprint of Lagos? Okay, the Sanwo-Olu he brought, is he now following the blueprint of Lagos? Has he done better than Ambode?
What did he do in Lagos? That he built Lagos, he did all of that. Me, I do not agree to all these things. You understand? Okay, let's even give it to him. He built Lagos, he did all the jobs in Lagos. This is the same person that was APC national leader for 8 years. You don't need to be a president, you understand, to do what is needful. If you and I live in the same house, you are the head of the house, you understand. I mustn't wait till I become the head to correct and if anything is going wrong. So they failed in the last 8 years. He will do nothing different.
No, you know, I said something. I said Tinubu leveraged on the performance of Fashola and Ambode and removed Ambode. I even heard that the president begged him, he refused. Governors came and begged him, he refused. I'm now asking, what exactly is the blueprint of Lagos that Tinubu has rolled out under Ambode? I mean, under Sanwo-Olu. You couldn't find anything. I can't find anything. You understand? And don't forget, I stayed in Lagos for about 30 years. Under the reign of Tinubu, we kept records of Tinubu. I am also I've been in the writing industry as an editor, so it's not something that is hidden. We have his records. The only achievement Tinubu did was to multiply area boys and then multiply violence, and there was lawlessness even up to today. You can't go to Lagos and do anything reasonable. One man who was a staunch follower of APC, the man came back here and said he's not following him. He said he saw a very ugly incident where an old woman was carrying a load. Touts surrounded the woman and said until she paid, she will not be allowed to step out of, to move an inch from this place. This woman who had nothing to eat, you can imagine. And people who are supporting APC, I tell them shame on them because they are supporting a man who has no competence. APC that has failed Nigerians, they have kept Nigerians at a standstill position. Things are costly. In fact, Nigeria has no government. I told you the other time, it's as good as saying we have no government, we have no National Assembly, we have nothing. You understand? So if anybody is talking of Tinubu, he's just talking of something that is not going to work. So as far as I am concerned, I will never, even if in my dream I was finding myself going to vote for Tinubu, I am sure I will wake up so that idea will fail. You understand? I will never encourage anybody to vote for APC. Forget about what people are. Hey, Tinubu, I hear people say, yeah, where the money he has, how did he get the money? Now we have heard of all the gimmicks they are doing so that they can rig election. Why are our democratic institutions not arresting those people? You understand? That they are giving recharge cards to induce people. Don't we have a government that will say that should stop? If somebody goes to steal a small thing, they arrest him. APC did this thing, their primaries and PDP, and dollars exchanged hands. And these anti-grafty bodies were just watching, folding their arms. Can you call that government? We don't have a government. So people like Tinubu, I have respect for him as an elderly man, but I'm disappointed that his purpose of governance is to fulfill his ambition that he has ruled Nigeria when he has nothing to offer. If you have nothing to offer, why don't you allow those who have something to offer to rule?
Tinubu is not the right person for us as a nation. Looking at his age, looking at his health, you understand. I do not subscribe to his candidacy.
All right, that is more reactions right there from Nigerians, consigned Nigerians, who are saying that they forbid Tinubu. In fact, if they see Tinubu on their dream, they will wake up and rebuke it. You know, they are forbidding him back to back. Same way we forbid Tinubu on this platform. We forbid him to be our next president in the mighty name of the Lord Jesus Christ. We don't want to suffer anymore. Tinubu is disassociating himself from APC, forgetting that he has been the APC national chairman for almost 8 years. So what are you talking about? You know, how do you say that? It's just like if I start committing crime here now, leftists will be saying I'm not part of it. You know, I was not there. And you are seeing me committing the crime every day. You'll be disassociating yourself from Nigeria. Will say, no, I want to come out clean now. So what Nigeria was doing. No, if you know I'm doing anything that is wrong, it's your duty to expose me. If not, you are going to be tallied with my actions. That's it. That's what we call footprints. Whatever you have done in the past will certainly come back to haunt you. That's what is haunting Tinubu today. And whatever our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, have done in the past is what is helping him today. We should say it how it is. And you that is watching, or you that will play back this video later, you can as well learn from this. That what are you doing today that you know within your heart is not a good thing? You know, even though people can't see it now, but you know within your heart that what I'm doing is bad. Although people never catch me, but it's bad. Then, how do you want to be remembered? Or what do you want to be remembered for? Because no matter what, you know, I don't know how my brother normally give the riddles here, the parable, saying that the river cannot go through the forest without bringing down the trees. And it's true. You know, no smoke without fire, right? Or no fire without smoke. No matter whatever you are doing today, somehow, someday, God will disgrace you. That's it. God will disgrace you. Look at the South Sudan president that peed on himself on a very important day. You know what that means? That is what we call, that's what my mom normally call public disgrace. I go hit the person. Yes. That is the number one statement from my mom. Go say, no worry, my son. Now public disgrace, go hit that person. That was public disgrace. A disgrace that you cannot avoid. Unavoidable disgrace. It go hit you. And the day that disgrace will hit you, trust me, now you plan past that day. You planned properly. You dressed properly. You did everything perfectly before leaving the house. You will still be surprised. You will still be disgraced. Why? Because there is that thing that you are doing to cause people pains. That is, although giving you joy. But within your mind, nobody knows, so it not concern me. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And for you, whoever that is there today, clamoring for APC to come back after all the pains that we all have passed through, still passing through, the excruciating poverty, pains, suffering, and you are still saying you want APC back, you want Tinubu back. All these pains must visit you. Not be me they swear for you, it's the natural swearing. All these pains that everybody have passed through in the hands of APC, and you want APC back again because of your selfish interest. All these pains, directly or indirectly, it must visit you. You, your family, your children, your anybody that is close with you, you go visit all of them. You that is supporting PDP, and you know that PDP destroyed Nigeria before APC took over from them. Now you want them back. You want them to continue to be recycling themselves. All the pains PDP caused then, plus the hidden PDP members that join APC to destroy the current state of Nigeria, all the pains will visit you. Nobody should tell me, no, remove emotions. What are you talking about? Do you know how many people dying every day? Do you know how many people dying every day? Do you know how many people I have blessed this December? You want me to come on air to let you know that? No, that's between me and God. Do you know how many people? People are suffering. We should say it how it is. PDP and APC are satanic parties who have caused you and I the pains we are facing today. Don't be deceived by the figure you have in your account. Some of you now watching me now, you might have $50,000 or 50,000 pounds in your account. You say, yes, so after all, thank God, sir, I not did the country self, I'm good. It's just a figure. It's just a figure. There's nothing like happiness when you see others suffering and dying. You shouldn't come on air. Somebody drew my attention to a broadcast that was done yesterday. I don't want to mention the platform here. And I saw some people there. Let me say 2 who were supporting Tinubu. Their screen was filled up as well. But I like the fact that the remaining 8 and callers, everybody lambasted on them seriously. I was so happy. Say, thank God. And this kind of thing, I want to draw my attention to make I watch. And one of these 2 that was supporting Tinubu also get a YouTube channel where they destroy Peter Obi and all that. But it was there, they disgrace him. Public disgrace. If first come out. How can you see something that is bad? You'll be saying that's what you want. Can you give me a reason why you want it? These people are killing us. I've been because they ever cut your head. Now make you the same that you want. What makes you think that you are better than the people that are being kidnapped every day? People that are being killed and beheaded every day. Our women that are being raped. Our 82 years old mother that was raped, that was gang raped in Edo State. Your mama better pass that woman. Any member of your family better than her? She was just a victim of failed circumstance. She was a victim of failed system. And you are still saying you want APC. Are you okay? This is baffling. If you be my friend, I tell you, we have somebody on this channel before that was supporting APC. He was a prominent member of us in this channel. But since this election started, we have to part ways. I'm sorry. You cannot use my platform to campaign for APC. I forbid it. I always hit my chest every day. If you have anything against me, use it against me. You can't find any. Do you know why? Because I'm not perfect, but when I speak, I listen to myself. When I walk, I watch my steps. Everything I do, I try my possible best to be on the right track. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't... Listen, if you are close to me, you will know me. Oh. Now here you go see me here. If you more than here, you will not see me any other place.
Naija watch, you never finish up. Elvis, you never finish up. I don't party. I don't smoke. I don't drink.
I don't womanize. Yes, I don't womanize.
No, don't talk and finish. Now we don't see a guy. You want to tell us who will they smoke? Who will they drink? They smoke sound. But I want to behave like who they smoke. You want to tell us now who they smoke? We don't know what we they do.
Alex talk about. Alex, you always win.
I don't
Okay. Listen, guys. Okay, let this. You know what make I talk? This pepper body wanna tell loose, so you they use that they truncate my delivery.
Lefties, leave me talk now. Lefties.
Alex, now you who was pass. I just only talk. You could drag up.
No, to be honest, in life, I've been in UK almost all my life. In life, you have to look at where you are coming from, where you are going. look back, although every one of us have done one or two things that we are not proud of. But if you know you have done anything that have caused people pains, and you come out, they drink wine, they celebrate, and you want to come on the public office, say you want to take public office. Last Tinubu and Atiku, they do so. To Fiakwa, you rebuke it. It's not possible. People are watching you. People are watching you. What is speaking for Peter Obi today is his past lifestyle, nothing else. I'm telling you, many of us when they support Peter Obi today don't know him before. They see a lot of people are clamoring for this name, this name, this name. You know what they did? They went to do their own research to see, okay, who is this really Peter Obi? They get to know. Now here I want. For example, Omo Yes Corner. Omo Yes Corner not be woman where they follow Nigerian politics before. The day she will be here, I'll bring it back. She not follow Nigerian politics. She never have any single interest on it before. Omo Yes Corner did not know how we deliver Governor Obaseki. Omo Yes Corner did not even know who be Governor Obaseki before. Despite that she's from Edo State. But this agitation that we want Peter Obi drawn her to the awareness. Who is this man? Let me do a research about her. Because she's an educated woman. She not get to know that, Abba, if it's not Peter Obi, it's nothing. What are we doing? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Thank you very much, my people. I played 2 videos earlier on our people on the streets sharing their opinion, their ideas, and what they are doing to deliver Peter Obi. I would like us to take it further so that we can hear from, I think, okay, let's go with Buhari here. Let's go with Buhari and hear what Buhari have to say here. Then we'll take it from here. Thank you.
Najawo, you said you played 2 videos. I thought it's only one you've played.
No, it's 2. It's 2 videos from streets.
Okay, 2 videos joined together.
No. It's a different videos, but the
target says the same thing. Okay.
Yes, saying the same thing. Yeah.
This change of currency, I think there will be people a lot of money, but time has been given from October to December, 3 months. Is enough. Whatever money you have to get it changed through a legal system. So I don't know why people are complaining about it.
So despite the complaint, there's no going back on the policy?
No, there's no going back. There's no going back. My aim is to make sure that Nigerians...
Listen to these parts. Just listen to these parts.
My aim is to make sure that Nigerians believe that we respect them as an administration. So Nigerians should vote for whoever they like from whichever party. Nobody will be allowed to mobilize resources and thugs to intimidate people in any constituency. That's what I want to go down into Nigerian history for as a leader.
That was Muhammadu Buhari, president. In Otokam. Remember the change of Naira and all that, a lot of us disagree with it and all that, but President Buhari is actually doing it because of Tinubu. He's doing it. They don't want Tinubu to win. I'm telling you, they don't want Tinubu to win. President Buhari, if you don't want Igbo person win, for example, he will prefer Atiku to even win than Tinubu, despite that Tinubu is part of his party. Yes. Let's take it further to listen to him and his delivery. Is currently in America, and yesterday was his birthday. Let's listen to this.
Returns to the U.S. Institute of Peace almost 8 years after. The institute first played host to the president in 2015 after winning a watershed election. Buhari says elections have steadily improved in his administration, while dismissing concerns that attacks on INEC offices would impede the elections next year.
INEC is prepared to conduct the elections next year. I would say they are, because I made sure they were given all the resources they asked. So I don't want any excuse that they were denied funds by the government. So they were given the money, although some of their offices in 1 or 2 geopolitical zones have been attacked, but all the same, INEC has not complained, and certainly they could not complain that they were denied resources to make sure that their infrastructure is firmly in place.
In his
Okay, that's it. And the final one, because the reason why I'm playing all these, all of them are affiliated, okay? All are affiliated, one more to go, so that we can tally all of them together before we move on to the second segment of this broadcast. Please share this broadcast, my people, and let's do this together. Help us to share, and like. God bless you all.
All right, Steve, a lot of takeaways from that amazing report from Adesua, State House correspondent.
Yeah.
First, I mean, I guess you wished the president a happy birthday yesterday.
We did.
I mean, she alluded to the fact that he's the first president to celebrate his birthday while in office at that point. But I mean, I think a lot of points were made by the president. He reiterated the fact that, you know, INEC will conduct a free and credible election this year. It's not the first time we're hearing Buhari saying that. But as we know, only recently the Labour Party chairman was, you know, he raised alarm talking about the fact that the Labour Party may not actually conduct a credible election because of all of the killings and the attacks. We're, you know, hoping to see that we're not going to see this type of violence, you know, come February 2023. Steve.
Well, I mean, Oji, I think there are two important things. The symbolism of what happened, and then the essence of what the president said there. If we take it first from the symbolism, it was good optics all through.
Yes.
For President Muhammadu Buhari. One, he celebrated his 80th birthday, and that was coming on the heels of the adulation, if you like, from President Joe Biden, you know, saying that he was a model of democracy, which is a good thing for him because whether it was true or not, you remember when he had this same type of meeting with former President, you know, Donald Trump, there were insinuations as to how, you know, Trump, the impression that Donald Trump had of him, you know, the lifelessness of the body and things that we couldn't substantiate. But then meeting with President Biden, whom he had met when Biden was vice president, by the way, you know, it's a good, you know, send forth remark from the world's most powerful president to Africa's most powerful president, you know. And I think that Buhari will return to Nigeria feeling cool and feeling fulfilled, you know. The other part of the symbolism of what happened after the whole U.S. African Leaders Forum thing is the fact that the president now chose to engage with Nigerians. You know, first with the United States Peace Institute, you know, and then having a town hall that was different from all.
Bala Blue. All right. Thank you very much, my people. We are going to stop that video right there. I appreciate you all. Let's talk on this. You know, let's talk about this. It's time for us to talk. Lefties, over back to you. Please make una share.
Please, so before, good evening, everybody. Before you call on Alex, I want to make one point there. You talk about South Sudan peeing on itself publicly. Do you know that Tinubu did the same thing?
Yes,
I will start with because we are talking of South Sudan. But Tinubu, I saw the video. They rush him out of the scene. So this is the person they want to impose on Nigeria.
And we see more of that if they force him on us.
So if you have the video, please, this is what we're supposed to be showcasing in this platform, so that people will know the kind of person they want to push forward to go and disgrace us internationally. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Lefties, back to you.
It's all right. Thank you very much. But before I start, I want to quickly, first of all, thank Charles Ezedume for his super chat. At the same time, I want to thank JJ for his super chat. All these super chat committee people, we especially greet you for our support. Yes, we did 2 videos talking about Nigerians on the street. They're all crying out. That was why yesterday, was it yesterday, when somebody said it was the diasporans that are actually carrying the Peter Obi matter put for head pass those within Nigeria. I disagree. You can hear from the Nigerians on the street. These are the people that are on ground, and these are the people that are actually going to vote, and these are the people that will be there to defend their vote. So without them, the people in diaspora will not be able to do nothing, because they are like the soldiers, the foot soldiers. So I want to say thank you to those men we just saw speaking out their mind. Before now, if you remember, some people come here to tell us, though some of them don't usually come again, to tell us that those people you see, they don't have PVC, they are not going to vote. We shouldn't believe what we are seeing. Just now, not quite long, people come here to want to claim they are obedient, but somehow, they are really not obedient. They are looking for fault to indict everything that concerns Obi. Why? Because Obi is not doing what they choose, which is very wrong, which is not national. That is sectional. Yeah, the second video on Buhari, the third video, that should be the third video. Buhari on Nigerians should vote whoever they want. I just pray he actually makes it. If he does, that would be good, because usually politics, you don't trust them. They can go anywhere and showcase good image and good plan, but do they implement it? Nigeria has a constitution. Are they following it? No. So Nigeria has a lot of beautiful, beautiful laws that is protecting the people. Are they actually implementing it? No. So going to the world stage to say I'm going to do this, I think I wouldn't want to believe him. Though the only good thing he did is engaging with people, he's talking, he's not delegating, he's not calling on who would like say calling on anybody to come and talk, answer those questions that he's been asked as a president. With Tinubu and his so-called followers are saying he's correct. He can delegate question which he's supposed to answer to anybody to answer for him. See Buhari now. Buhari would have gone with his team of ministers, and anything they asked him, he would have said, let them be answering it. I think Buhari now, for on record, age-wise, is older than Tinubu, but he's speaking. He's not blah, 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 blah. He's not missing words. I think Tinubu should be ashamed, and I'm also very sure in Buhari's heart, he's ashamed too. But they are just laughing at him. They are going to use him and know them. They will dump him. We know their style. We are in politics. We know what they can do. They will use him and dump him. They have used him. It's time to encourage him to fool himself. Then they will now dump him. I understand that. And the one on his on INEC, that INEC will not have any reasons. Yes, he's saying it. INEC will not have any reason to complain, because he said we have released the fund, everything they asked. So they have no reason to say they are not going to. They have no reason to complain, even if they have various attacks, which I also know that these attacks are not done by the people they claim are doing it. It's political. Most of these attacks are not done. If we go into Nigeria history, we understand that the power that be are always infiltrating into these settings to give a bad name to a dog for it to be able to hang them. They did it in EndSARS, and they've been doing this before. We remember Oshomole during his time, who born Minister of Education. A lot of things goes wrong. By the time they go call him saying opposition. So I don't really believe that some of this attack going on in the Southeast and INEC, that is actually being done by IPOP. Personally, I will tell you that they have they always have two sets of it. The real one and the federal government own. And when the federal government own professionally, because they have all the backings, the ID card, you cannot hold them. When they commit this offense, they will go freely. Nothing will touch them. And they will give it to the other side and say they are the one committing this offense. But yes, he has said it that INEC has no reason to internationally, because he cannot say he's not he's common. He's in the US talking to the most powerful, talking in the most powerful country, powerful government of the world. So he's not going to agree for any negativity. Let's not take that away. So let's not really take him serious for what he's saying, because this is a Buhari that we know that have entered since. He has never been serious with everything he has said. That is a man that almost forced cow into all of our city room and houses. So personally, I'm not going to take him serious. On his birthday, well, congratulations to him. If he's actually 80, we know most of these people, they use political age. If he's 80, meaning he's older than Tinubu. And he's now even better than Tinubu, seeing the way he's talking. So I say congratulations to him. So for that, I think these were the videos we've been showcased so far. And somebody talk about the South Sudan president that pee on himself. This is why we must avoid that happening to us, national disgrace. If we elect people like Tinubu, who we know is not even sound at all, who we know is sick, who we know is aged. Normally, when you get old, these are normal signs that can happen to anybody. Apart from Tinubu, as an old person, your organs begin to fail. You begin to behave like a baby. You need proper care. That's why you have old people care home. They try to take off you, pamper you, bath you, give you your drugs, because this time you are going back to where you come from. The way you came, that's how you are going back now. Everything that was strong before is going back slowly and slow. And that is why you cannot cheat nature. And this is why we are saying, let's stop, Africans, not just Nigeria, let's stop giving power to these old people, sick old people. Even if you are not sick, you are old. There's every tendency that you must be having one or two, you'll never be strong. Your memory will be going down. You cannot retain, if you are retaining 50 kilograms before, this time it will be reducing to 40, 30, 20, 10. At a time, you will not remember anything anymore. Age is not because, it is not of your doing. You cannot stop it. No booster you take. So this is why we must, right now is the time. Say no to Tinubu. And say no to Atiku. Atiku is equally very old. Though Tinubu old passer. Tinubu are the baba of all old age. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you very much. I think from now we just allow, do we still have Oga Ike? I think he's the first person here today.
That word where you they use till they laugh Tinubu, so their members, APC member they don't vex put they say they don't like them, say they use and they laugh them all.
Why?
Yes, so they don't vex put.
The blue way conform.
Yeah, the bala blue.
Additional blue color way are John blue.
The bala blue, yes. The verse put
May they go close to Tinubu mouth now, not be winner. Now, what you talk with the first way they blah blue, and first way they fall, and first way they pee for body. Now we cause them.
Lefties. If I say I hear to say article say something like AP PDP. Is that correct?
Yes, not be article, na article wife.
No, article
wife
himself. Article himself.
For public.
Article himself for
the one we just they rain now. The one we just they happen now.
Yeah.
Peter Obi fever. They'll catch all of them for mouth. That's also a mistake that they make.
Left is the man where the verse put for which you they talk, so make you hear am say and the man be this.
Do you know that it is so bad that when Ashwaju speaks, they turn around the speech and say blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So people people are just, I mean, people are just having fun.
But do you know?
When you speaks, they turn around the speech and say blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So people are just, I mean, people are.
So leftists, why are you turning the speech of Tinubu?
Well, this man, the way it be, so it be like saying who they laugh Tinubu indirectly.
Of course, like they laugh Tinubu.
They laugh Tinubu indirectly. So not be my fault.
Voila.
Not be me concerned. Okay. What thing somebody just talk now? Imagine Atiku wife. They'll say they go. You see,
No, not be
you
Atiku
cannot
wife.
give
Atiku himself for Jos. Atiku say wife talk,
bros.
but Atiku
A
himself for Jos.
wife. I say my wife they reign now as of today. A wife. Now he talk say go and collect your PVC and vote APC. He say collect your PVC and vote APC. Upon all what APC have done to us. See all what they promise us. Where are we now? I'm quoting now. Where are we today? Now your wife. Oh, now you just see boof. Just boof. Now the recent boofing now as we speak. While Festus Kayamo can come out, they talk say, yes, although say that mistake. Judging from what he talk. Say they no say that mistake she make. Which kind of national mistake be that? Say, but they talk for their favor. So make you go collect your PVC. Make you vote APC. You see, all of them, both the APC and PDP, they are fond of just they vote themselves. PDP say vote APC, APC they say vote PDP. See, they are voting themselves. Why Nigerians will vote the Labour Party? Thank you very much. We need to Oga Ike, if Oga Ike is ready. Mr. Ike, please talk to us.
Oga Ike now be the first person with us here. Oga Ike, I beg you go turn down your TV, I beg. The noise of your TV the entire broken.
Okay, wait, let me go and turn it off.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. Before we have Oga Ike, I appreciate every one of you. I beg make una help us like this broadcast, and share our videos. We appreciate every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like us to quickly listen to this video before Oga Ike will join us. The best way to fight corruption. Let's listen to this.
Want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society. The most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top. I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just on holiday, no bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's a very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone at the top. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
Exactly. The example must come from the top. Like my brother Alex normally say on this platform, all these people, all of them need to go to jail. As Buhari just the finish, you're supposed to go straight to jail. Tinubu supposed to be in jail. Atiku supposed to be in jail. Simbajo supposed to be in jail. Many of them supposed to be jailed. But because they can get away with anything, so that's why you see these things repeating itself. Mr. I, please talk to us, sir, if you're available now.
Yeah, good afternoon, my people. Greetings to the people in the panel and those in the comment sections. The Southern Sudan president, what happened? I mean, it was a national disgrace, and I think this is a stain that will never leave Southern Sudan for years to come. And I think it's because of the same mistakes we are trying to make in Nigeria is the reason why what happened to him happened to him. And I think that the Bible says that there are times for everything. And I think like Lefty just said now, old age is a blessing. But when you try to force yourself to become a young man, old age will show you why you have to get old. And I think when we begin to get old, our body system begin to reflect on the old age. And if you are not careful, you try to force yourself to do something you were doing about 30 years ago, you want to do it now, the consequences are very great. So I think that this video that has gone viral all over the world and Africa as a whole, and I know Nigerians are still, they are still streaming it. I think it's a very good lesson for all the people who are lining up with APC and PDP that 2023, we will not, and I hope and I pray that we don't make the same mistake. Consciously or unconsciously, the people that are rooting for APC, they know the truth. They're only doing it for their political security. They're doing it for their stomach security. They're doing it so that they can be protected by the law, because they know what the law is going to look like if by God's grace P2B wins. They know that the rule of law will come back to Nigerian system. And everybody, like P2B used to say, the law will be applied to every level. And whosoever goes against the law will cut up with you. So all these things you see they are doing is they need cover, they need protection. But I think that the umbrella is beginning to tear a lot, that it can no more protect them, whether you're in APC or you're in PDP. I think the umbrella that has covered these two political parties is breaking into pieces, and for very soon is going to tear completely. There is not going to be any hiding place for anybody. And I think that what is going to happen by the time we approach January, most of them that know that they cannot be able to remain, they will run away from Nigeria, because the tsunami of the wind of change that is coming to Nigeria is going to catch up with everybody. But what I'm saying is that it should be based on the rule of law. And that is what have put Nigeria where we are today, because people abuse the law. And the people that are supposed to be in prison, like my brother Alex used to say, they are the same people trying to control the affairs of Nigeria. They are the same people trying to go back to leadership. They are the same people trying to control Asorok. They are the same people trying to control governorship. They are the same people yearning to be senators and House of Representatives, because they want immunity from prosecution. This is all what the politics that they are playing in Nigeria. So what you see that is going on right now, by the point of people selling their PVC 2,000, 1,000, 5,000, they know that they are not going to use it, but it's to disenfranchise people that are supposed to vote, to reduce the vote of the people who want to vote, because they know that the time of rigging is over, and they know that they cannot rig this election. So the only option that they have right now is the way that they are buying the vote, most people in the north, and all the confusion that they're creating in the southern part of Nigeria in order to reduce the vote of Mr. Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed. But I know sincerely that they will do everything that they want to do. But I know that they are not going to succeed. And I know that as many people that have their PVC, I know they will vote. But my appeal is to those people who, when they go, and INEC will say something. I was watching a video 4 days ago in Delta State. The INEC man was bold enough to ask people to bribe him before they come in and get their PVC. This is what we're talking about. All these things are political calculations, because they know that they cannot stop the people this time, because Nigerians want to take over their country. So they are going to manufacture anything to frustrate the obedient people, to frustrate Nigerians who are yearning for change. But I'm encouraging our Nigerians, never you give up. Social media, technology has made this case easy for every one of us. Because if it were in the back days, what this INEC man was doing in Delta State, nobody will see it, nobody will know it, nobody will record it. But today it is. It is on social media. I think every Nigerian has had that, or at least 60% of Nigerians has had what happened in Delta State last week, where an INEC man refused to open the gate for people to come in to get their PVC. And there was a lawyer that was in the midst of the crowd. So this is what they are doing. So INEC should know that Nigerians are not ready to hear any story. The president has been promising us that they want free and fair election. That was what he was saying in 2015. He's coming to fight corruption. Today, his government for 8 years is the center of corruption. Nobody has been held accountable. Nobody is in prison. As Accountant General of the Federation, last week I heard that he has refunded 30 billion. 30 billion out of 100 and something billion. One single man carried by a mother for 9 months. A man that was in charge for the money of a whole country of about 200 million people. He stole 109 billion naira. And that man is still walking free in the street of Nigeria.
Mr. Ike,
all in the name of law.
Mr. Ike, I'm sorry that I have to come in. To be honest, the only way corruption can stop in Nigeria is death penalty. Because that man that you are mentioning right now is supposed to be killed. They're supposed to use him as an example and fire him to death. Only one person stole 100 and something billion naira. Only one person, and he's still living as we are speaking. Just imagine, a death penalty is the only way corruption can be eradicated immediately in Nigeria. Go ahead, sir.
So that's what I'm saying. Is because that's why I say whatever Buhari tells the international community, never will ever take him serious, because this particular example now we are just sharing now. That man is still in his, even though he's no more in government, he's under the law, but it's not going to go. Nothing is going to come out of it. Like as you said, a man that stole 100 and something billion. A man that is responsible for the account of the money that belongs to every citizen of Nigeria. And that man a lawyer will stand up to go to court to defend such a man. I mean, this is the kind of a country that we have found ourselves. And that is why I will never believe whatever Buhari says. Because what INEC is doing now, there is no sign that they have any credibility to conduct free and fair election. Because they will tell you, no, those things that are happening is a minor case, is a few places, this and that. But look at what is going on now. They say that people come and collect their PVC. People will go, they cannot be able to collect their PVC. And for how long shall we continue to say, okay, let's give Buhari is trying to be honest? Which honest? There is no honesty. Like as you said, this particular man, does he need to go to court? Does this man need to go to face any law court in Nigeria? This man is supposed to be hanged. This is my point. So the only thing that I am begging the people of Nigeria and the obedient people worldwide, and those in Nigeria, please sacrifice whatever that it will cost you. Even though, don't look at the frustration, don't look at the manipulation. Stand on your ground, get your PVC, get it ready. No matter whatever these people are trying to do, the hand of God is in Nigeria. The hand of God is with Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed. The hand of God is for Nigerians that are yearning for a better Nigeria. All these politicians, all these people now that are doing this thing, they are the problem that we have. They are the cause of the problem that a lot of Nigerians are still living outside. They don't want to go back to their country. This is Christmas season, where people travel home from all over the world. Look at the percentage of the people that are living in diaspora that is trying to go home in December time. How many people is going? Because you are not sure of your life. You are not sure what is going to happen. So, listen, I don't want us to say Buhari is promising us free and fair, credible election. The foundation is not there. What the Secretary General of the Northern Consultative Forum said on Arise Television, it was shocking. The day I was listening to the interview, I was like, actually, seriously? Because this is what is happening in the North. But they're using violence in the South in order to create a scene that we are not ready to, the southern part of Nigeria are not ready to lead Nigeria. But in the North, they are doing it in their own style by going to the remote villages and taking their PVC and giving them money. They were doing it in Lagos before, where they will collect your PVC and they give you 2,000 or 5,000. I told this platform about 2 months ago. It happened to my senior brother's wife when they went to a shop in Ojota and said she should bring her PVC. My brother's wife told them, listen, her PVC is with the husband. They said, is it every time that your husband used to travel? He said, yeah, because my husband is a businessman. So he's not in Lagos now. They say you must go and get your PVC. So when I spoke to my senior brother, he said when the pressure comes too much, he's going to give the wife the old PVC that is no more useful that they're going to use to vote. So it is happening everywhere. So there is no sign that the INEC knows what is going on in Nigeria. If they know they are accomplices to the crime and the manipulation that is taking place. So I have never seen anything that is convincing me that INEC is ready for this election we are talking about. But Nigerians are ready. And those Nigerians that are yearning for change are ready. And INEC know that, listen, their life is in the palm of Nigerians. Because anything that they would do to make this election not to be free, fair, and credible election, they will take it, that is the consequences of it. The INEC will be held responsible. So I sincerely believe that the obedience people should not be moved by what is going on. Let us not be discouraged. Let us not murmur. Let us keep fighting. Encourage your family. Encourage your friends. Those your friends you know that are complaining, they can't go. When they go, they tell them come back tomorrow. When they say come back tomorrow, I was listening to the INEC man who was being interviewed. He was asking him, why do you people have to tell somebody to come and collect PVC? And when they come, you tell them come next week. If you were not ready to begin to give the PVC, why do you have to go to the national television and tell people to begin to come and collect their PVC? When they come now, you tell them come next week. When they come next week, tell them come next week. What is really going on, INEC? So it's in public view. It's not something that only me or everybody in this platform that know. It's what is going on right now.
Thank you.
So I don't know this credible election that they're promising us how it's going to take place. But my sincere appeal to Nigerians, those that want a change, who want to take back their country through P2B and that Baba Ahmed, never you give up. Continue to fight. Use your social media. Use your technology. Distribute information. Anything you see, put it in the social media. Let it go viral. The world is watching. Nigerians are watching. The whole continent of the world is watching Nigerian election. So it is no more what any of them can do and get away with it. The world eyes is in Nigeria. So we are watching. So my brothers and sisters, let us never give up. It is not over until it is over. Thank you.
Yes, it is never over until it's over. Thank you very much, Mr. Ike.
Before we move on, Mr. Ike, you live in Caribbean Netherlands, right?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's far away. How many hours from there to Nigeria?
If you want to fly from here, first of all, you have to fly 9-10 hours to Amsterdam. Then from Amsterdam to Nigeria is about 4 or 5 hours, depending.
That's about 16 hours altogether.
Exactly.
Wow. What time is it over there right now, sir?
It is 20 to 4 in the afternoon.
PM. Okay. About 3 hours difference.
All right. If you want to go to the US from here, it's just 2 hours to US. It's 2 hours to Miami.
Yeah.
Mr. Ike, going to US will be 2 hours now through trekking.
This is how the world looks like. The world is round, right?
No, maybe that one ask him now. I saw that true leg. I just want to know. No, say that geography would they talk about so.
No, it is by flight because I'm living in a beautiful island. We are surrounded by the ocean. There is nowhere you can.
Why I ask? Actually, let me just go straight to the point. Why I ask? Because some people want to fly, like Elvis. He asked you, say now, how many hour fly? Whether you don't, Elvis, I bet show us your back. Whether you don't get fed, I mean, you don't know.
A flight I talk, flight I talk.
It's a beautiful island. Anybody is free to visit the island of Bonaire.
No, I will try to come to Jamaica someday. I'll come.
We are close to Jamaica also. It's about from here to Jamaica is about 2.5 hours or 3 hours. But
yes. Oh, as long as the Caribbean countries, all of them are together.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's move on.
Yes, it would have been God sent, but we lose him. I don't think we have God sent and Shemobi. Please, you people can come back. We still have a lot of space on the studio. God sent you as listening to me or listening to us, rather, and Chema Obi. Please, you can still hit the button. So now we just give it to Alex.
Yes, thank you, thank you, Mr. Leftis.
Thank you, my brother Alex.
Thank you, Mr. Najawash. I'm very grateful for the opportunity you normally give us. A lot of us are, we would not have had a platform to express ourselves the way we feel, to express ourselves to the whole world. So it's people like you that, God always sends people ahead of you when you're in trouble. Bini will say, when something is pursuing you, God will also send you a solution. So people who were never slaves, people who were from rich families, or people who were educated, they fought against slavery. British people who were also not corrupt, like the Portuguese, who were the chief slave traders, British, Portuguese, Spaniards, some of their children are the ones that rose up against slavery abolition, and eventually it was abolished. So
you're right.
We are grateful to God. Let me go straight to the nitty-gritty. I greet those on the panelist session, those on the comment session, and the viewers worldwide, and the Najawash technical team. I want to comment on the comment of Mr. Buhari. There is still a bleak analysis over who we really have in Aso Rock, looking at the way Nnamdi Kanu was rounded up and kidnapped and not allowed to speak. Clear conscience, fear no accusation. If they were cleared in their conscience, why did they go after Nnamdi Kanu? I'm going somewhere. So if nothing happened in 2017 at London Hospital, if nothing really happened, I don't know how many people get sick of cancer of this and that, and I know people do, but it's very rare. Which President Buhari was diagnosed to be suffering from those days. So that's the Buhari we saw in 2014, 2012, 2013 campaigning those days, saying things. There seems to be some discrepancies. There seems to be some cacophony over the personality of this Buhari. So the Buhari that people saw in the 80s, though it was also corrupt, but there was a level of discipline. The Buhari that people thought won the elections in 2015, that Obasanjo and a lot of criminals went to Aso Rock overnight to return monies, scared of being jailed. We had a lot of hope and expectations. Looking at how Nigeria have gone down the drain, Nigeria has gone down into the state of comatose, state of ogamoga. This Dukem S Proporchamon that we are battling with now, that is the state of cataclysm, so to say, Buhari and his caucus or his entourage, his cabinet, his gangs are responsible. So him coming to tell us or telling the international community that he wants to give Nigeria free and fair election, he has no choice this time around. He has no choice because even if he's the real one or the fake Buhari, we don't know. Let's leave it there. He has no choice now because it is obvious, it is clear, visible to the blind, audible to the deaf, that Nigerians are very resilient. Nigerians have been killed. More than 1 million souls lost nationwide. Lekki Toll Gate, we will never forget that fateful night. Deborah, snakes and monkeys swallowing money. So Buhari has no choice than to allow the credible candidate so that he can also salvage himself. The only meeting they are going to be having with Mr. Peter Obi, just before the elections is going to be, please don't probe us. Please. I'm sure that's what Obasanjo, Babangida, Don Kabale, Dan Juma, that's what they are saying to Obi. We know you have already won, like Jonathan told David in the Bible. He said, I know that you will be king, because it was obvious. I know that my father wants you dead, but I know you'll be king, but please, I want to be next to you. Although he didn't stay alive to see David become a king. All these generals running around with Peter Obi now, directly or indirectly, the one thing is what they are telling him: we will assist you. We will make sure this goes free and fair. We will return money stolen, but do not think of probing us or do not think of sharing the country. No, there's no that thing. We will stand with you until you are sworn in as a president. If you win this coming 2023, presidential elections, they know. If the election was to be conducted today, I'm not an Igbo man. For those who are watching and those in the comment section who are always insinuating that I'm affiliated to, this is not time for regionalism, sectionalism. It's not time for Ismaitoism. It's just a time to have a sober reflection until we sit down and ask ourselves, which way Nigeria, which way we want to go. Look at that man talking about Singapore. We have been talking about Singapore here on this platform and other countries where corruption is punishable by death or by life imprisonment. Corruption is one of the biggest problems. Like I always say, if a serious person comes to power or a serious set of people come to power, they have to show examples. You must go after some big fishes, starting with President Muhammadu Buhari. As soon as his immunity dies according to the Nigerian Constitution and according to international charter of diplomacy that protects presidents of nations and diplomats, once his tenure is over, he becomes an ordinary citizen like me and you. He should be picked up. Who is he? Just a human being. Sarkozy of France was detained for 3 days. Over $70 million he allegedly took from Muammar Gaddafi. The same Gaddafi France joined forces to kill, though, but he was in custody 3 days. Or should I say 3 days and 3 nights? If Sarkozy, a former French president, one of the strongest countries in the whole world, name 5 strongest countries in terms of military, you will call France. So Buhari is a human being. After his presidency, he's a nobody, just like me and you. Osibajo is a nobody after he steps down from power. They should be investigated, especially with the way the country has gone down the drain. Until we sit down and open books and renegotiate and destroy this 1999 constitution and carry everybody along, every tribe, every village in the whole country should be represented at that national conference. 2014 can be visited, but a new one is needed immediately. I am sure Peter Obi is aware of this, that the Nigerian Constitution 1998, 1999 was put together by British and military generals. And they just hurriedly did it because the country was hot. The tension was high. Abiola just died. And Abacha died too in that same year, 1998. So the country was hot. The Yorubas were threatening. They were raining fire and brimstone. So they had to go and bring a prisoner, Obasanjo, who was a political prisoner of the late Sani Abacha. They negotiated with him, allowed him to contest because they were his friend. He was their friend in the 1970s. He also allowed them. So they had to use him to compensate the Yoruba, dichotomy of the country. So we must revisit all these things. We cannot run away from it. We cannot say we want to wipe away history from Nigerian schools, as they are trying to do. Without history, our children will not know what happened, and they will not know how to behave, and our leaders will not be accountable. So we must destroy this constitution and have a constitution that truly sound or that truly represents the feelings of Nigerians, the present realities of Nigerians. If we want to be together like a federation or a confederation of the Abuja Conference, it's very easy. Abuja Conference only suggested a confederation. A confederation is a system of government where you have a strong, a strong region and a weak center. Strong regions develop themselves with what they have. The center can only be for once in a while. They just gather there to have ceremonial activities by like receiving of visitors and so on and so forth. Decoration of the country. That was what Ojukwu and Gowon and the rest of them agreed in Ghana. I mean, a place called Aburi. If we have to visit that meeting and check the meaning of confederation so that every region can have their own independence, their own police, their own leaders, while the center can still be there, but it's just ceremonial. Or if you want to share it amicably, so that everybody can exist within the tenets of their culture. Some regions can merge together. So we can have 5 or 3 or 6 countries and exist as neighbors. Pakistan is a neighbor of India. They were once together. Denmark and Sweden were once together. So why are they afraid of visiting the Nigerian constitution that has impoverished the whole nation? That pay leaders ahead of even more than American political leaders. Even Switzerland leaders don't even hand the money Nigerian leaders hand. The so-called senators, the governors, the so-called ambassadors. So guys, the only way forward now, yes, we get our PVC. I hope Mr. Peter Obi and his team are listening to Nigeria. Our postulations here, our suggestions here, our discussions here, these are educational materials that we have perused in total for a month of Sundays or for donkey years. We do not have the platform, we do not have the opportunity to head to the world. You do not underrate any source of solution. Joseph was in prison when Egypt was in trouble. The king had a dream, impending danger. Danger was looming, famine was coming on the whole world. But God wanted to save Egypt. They had to look for somebody who can interpret it. They went to the prison yard to go and bring him. Because the chief baker told the king, sir, I met a fellow prisoner who also interpreted my dream that I was going to be freed. And now I'm free. Can I bring him? The king said, bring him. All the senators, all the wisdom men, they all failed. Joseph did, and he saved Israel, and he became a prime minister. So if a foreigner can become a prime minister in Egypt, it's happening right now in the United Kingdom. A son of a man from somewhere else, because he's capable. We don't need tribalism in Nigeria now. We don't need this my turn in Nigeria. We do not need, and from this region, we don't need regionalism. We need somebody who is able, who has capacity, who has verifiable antecedents, tested and trusted. We have to say goodbye to godfathers this time. So guys, the power belongs to us. And when we get there, I really hope we can revisit these situations. This configuration of crisis identity. Nigeria, of course, was a fraudulent, journey together of the British, Lord Lugard and Flora Shaw in 1914. After the 1890s wars of amalgamation, finally, in 1914 they were able to do it. So we must revisit those things and look at everybody's peculiarity and how we can answer to their needs and stop this madness, this political madness and rascality going on in Nigeria. So Buhari has no choice now. I really hope the international community will actually pick him up for crime against humanity, for the loss of lives over 7 years. Because Amnesty International is saying 1,100,000 lives plus have been lost in Nigeria over Buhari's administration. Although Lion Mohammed has denied it many times, that one is always at the front to lie to us. So gentlemen and ladies, death penalty or life imprisonment should be one of the tenets of the new constitution for a new Nigeria. Federal character or breaking of Nigeria, or coming up with a confederation, system of government where regions will develop themselves with what they have, so that the center will be weak. No more killings, no more stealing of ballot box those days. No more I must be a senator. No more I must be a minister. All those madness will just die a natural death. So we need a set of leaders that will be bold enough to take these decisions and call everybody to a round table, not to share money, but to discuss the future of this great country. So, guys, once again, Peter Obi is leading already. Don't let anybody deceive you. They know Buhari is under pressure with the British, Americans, or whatever. You cannot write them out. America once said that they cannot turn their eye. Or they cannot turn a blind eye over the issues that concern Nigeria. British are saying the same thing. Chinese are saying the same thing. So if anything happens in Nigeria, the world cannot contain the world can't contain the population. Because if you can remember in 2015 Syria, when they invaded the whole Europe, Angela Merkel had to hold a meeting, emergency meeting, on how to scrap some laws and make some laws and allow the Syrians in. Over 300,000 Syrians entered there illegally, and they became legal, and the whole Europe received them. So we are 200 million according to the news we are hearing. Which countries are going to take us? So they also are interested. If you must keep your streets safe, you must check on your neighbors. Is what the world is doing now on this country. So guys, I'm very happy with the way things are going. I saw the video you did on the streets, sampling information, how people are ready. I told you, people are collecting PVCs in spite of the stress, in spite of the malversation, in spite of the deprivation, in spite of the politics of colony. Nigerians are ever determined, ever resilient, ever ready to do the right thing. And SARS is still very fresh in our brain. So we are ready to kick out these old politicians and give birth to a new nation, where you and I are going to matter, where we will be true citizens of this nation, where we will not have to travel abroad for greener pastures, unless for studies or for vacation or business. A nation where we will be safe to travel from Edo State down to Kano without looking back, because of, killer herdsmen. A nation where the police will ask you, are you okay? Can I help you? Are you all right? Instead of asking for bribe. A nation where we will not look at ourselves as Igbo man or Yoruba man or Bini man, but as human beings and fellow citizens. So I'll drop it here. Thank you.
Yes. Actually, what we need is not a sectional president. Somebody said yesterday that the killings in the north is a Nigeria national problem. It's not the northern problem alone. In fact, Akin Baba Ahmed, the director of publicity of advocacy, Northern Elders Forum, he said yesterday, the killing in the southeast is not just the eastern problem, it's the Nigeria problem. So if the killing in Boko Haram and whatever is happening in the north, and the killing in the southeast, even in the south, anywhere in the territory called Nigeria, it's not a sectional problem. It's a Nigeria problem. So as such, we don't need a sectional president. We need a president that could understand the peculiarity of each region and improve every human capacity in each region and empower every Nigerian. See the word, every Nigerian, not regional, empower each region, no. And empower every Nigerian. Not until we do that, we'll continue to have problems. A man that cannot put his family together and show them love will have a problem in his house. This is what we are having today. So we'll just go straight to the next person, which is supposed to be after us, Nolly 77. I think he's no more here, but after that, Nolly 77, if you are listening to us, please, you can come back and talk to us. You were here before. We want to hear your view on this. So we call on the next person after him, which is Just For You. Oga, Just For You, please talk to us.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My greetings to you, Niger Watch, Elvis, and Lefties. You are doing a great job. My respect for you people. I will keep on talking because sometimes when you look at what is happening in Nigeria, sometimes, to talk about Nigerian problem, you feel very, very weak and tired. As I speak to you now, you still have some people saying that anybody that give them money, I'm passing this information to everybody, so we will know how we will tackle this problem. Because I liaise with Nigerian people every now and then, calling home, and the information I'm getting is that anybody that give them money, that is the person they will vote for. I am getting that one as information, and I'm working on that as much as I can. So all of us will take that as a priority because there are people that still believe on that. So having said that, let me move down to the corruption issue in Nigeria. You see, why the corruption strike hard is that the person that is coming after the corrupt person, they all are the same. So what do I mean by this is that if we vote APC in, so corruption is not going to stop, killing is not going to stop. So things will still remain the same, even will be worse. So why are this corruption going on? Because the family members are pushing their people to do that. They enjoy the wealth. Why are these family members not be punished alongside with them after they finish their tenure? You see, all these things, we are going to discuss it by the grace of God if Obi comes to power, because all these people are going to face punishment, to curb corruption. I want to say here that INEC is collaborating with APC to manipulate the election. Normally, Tinubu by now supposed to be disqualified and face jail charges for all that we have seen so far. Issue of fake identity, fake this, fake that one, and coupled with his past antecedents.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you anymore.
Oh my goodness. Hello, can you hear me now? It's my internet that is.
You are back. You are back.
My internet is floating, somehow. So let me just rush before the internet will start malfunction again. So what I was saying is that by now, Tinubu is supposed to be in jail, because we have seen a good result, good proof and everything that will make Tinubu to face jail charges. My question is, what are the judiciary doing and the lawyers we have in Nigeria? What are they doing in this regard? Why are these men still pulling weight? Why is this man still parading himself, knowing fully well that this man has nothing to offer? He said that he's going to continue for where Buhari stopped. What do we enjoy from Buhari government? Millions of Nigerians have been killed. The criminals are now being given upper hand. They are welcome. I know that people may not know this. These people are given the right to invade schools and take school children of 13, 12, and 14 years as virgin and take to them as wives. The one they find that is not virgin, they sell them and they do away with it. They collect ransoms. These are people that will comfort after the killing and all these things. We see Nigerians promoting them, saying that they are repentant. So building houses for them, giving them, putting them into Nigerian forces, like in the navies, air force, army, and police. These are people that are still causing problem in Nigeria. They give out information to their people. How are they repentant? That is what I want to know. So, in the nutshell, let me still say this one. If you are expecting Buhari to be charged or to be like the last speaker has spoken, I don't think that will happen, because I normally say this. We don't have Buhari. Let us face the truth. But that is not the issue here. But I must tell you the truth. I know with time I will be vindicated. What of after the election? You will not see any Buhari. Buhari become invisible. Who are you going to hold? This is not Buhari we know. Everybody knows. Everybody is aware of that one. Buhari that everybody is seeing going to hospital every now and then. Buhari that is old. This one came up to be a young person. If he's celebrating his birthday, he will first of all take one piece of paper. I have the video. If you prove me wrong, where he was celebrating his birthday, he went to the National Assembly. he wanted to say his birthday, so he picked one paper, and he was looking at that paper to talk of his age. Is that the Buhari? Is that Buhari? If at all you don't remember anything, you will be able to remember the day you were born. So I have every proof to say this is not our Buhari. We know. Besides, Unadikano have said, is this Buhari say is a Buhari, is the real Buhari? He have to attend to people. He will speak Fufunde and things like that. But they are, and do DNA tests. They are not charging Unadikano along that time. All that one is silent and pushed to one corner. So for me, this is a calculated attempt to draw Nigeria away from the reality. That is my truth. I stand by it. Okay? I know people will condemn me, people will say all sorts of things, but Nigeria has been taken so, I don't know how to put it so that I will not insult anybody. So they took us like fools. So they placed everything on us and we accept it. And that is the reason, that is what is giving this government we are saying is government of cabas. We don't have Buhari in our stage. Let me prove it to you. At a time, it was Abakari that was reigning. A president cannot be there and somebody is reigning. To the point that a vice president went to him and begged him for him to remain the vice president. I think anybody want to challenge that one, I'm ready to showcase the video. He begged him, even though I don't have the video, he begged him when people were talking, Osibagyo went to Abakari to beg him to remain. You are not begging the president, you are begging the vice. So that one, everybody know the system, the age that time, that it was so hot that even Buhari wife was saying that his administration was taken away from her husband. So Buhari wife know all I know, he know what is going on. So I want to remind Nigeria, can we continue to play a fool to these people? This Tinubu of it, they know what is going on. Tinubu have said, the APC have said that restructuring my foot. If there is no restructuring, Nigeria can never be amended. They are not going to do anything. Plainly, he have said that he's going to continue from where Buhari stopped. He's going to continue with the same program. So what we are going to witness during Tinubu time is going to be worse than what we are seeing now. So it is an eye-opener for everybody to know that all this sign has been given to us. So if we continue to play alongside with it, it is left for Nigerians. So I don't want to, to be part of it. We have said it times without number here. We have 18 political parties. The only party that have been ruling Nigeria and have brought Nigeria so far where we are today is the APC and PDP. Why can't we trust another party? Why can't we vote for another party and trust another different hands entirely, rather than the same people who have held us to this point? So, my dear people, no matter what, this election is going to be between INEC, APC, and Nigerians. So how do we deal with this situation? It's a very serious situation. This is the reason why we have to, force INEC to take the necessary action. This person in question is questionable character. What are you doing against it? Where is the lawyer? What are they doing about it? Where are the judges? Are they waiting for the time when election is over? Then they will use one thing or the other until the person is sworn in, then that is all. If the case in the court, why are they waiting? We have evidence. Why are they waiting? Who are they waiting for? This is what we have to push to them. I want to tell Nigerians, all these things we are seeing, the weakness of Tinubu is a sign that when he comes to power, wait for the worst. Buhari regime will be I think it's a little thing, a tip of the iceberg. That is what I will put it. So, my dear people, the only way out is to vote Obi. When we vote Obi, all these people that have been holding Nigeria back, we will discuss about that. That is not what we are going to discuss now, because we cannot use one stone to kill two rats or two birds. So we have to wait till that time. And Obi have said it. If I cannot deliver, hold me accountable to it. Go back and see my antecedent. Look at my personality. Don't look at where I come from. Don't look at who I am. But look at the trust you have in me, what I can deliver to you. But this person is not saying the same thing. And this is the only person who have not signed a peace accord. You see the rally everywhere. They are the one causing the rally. All these things that are happening in the north, I will tell you, government have hand in it. Government have hand in it. They infiltrate into the IPOP, and they are doing all sorts of things to label IPOP bad people. They are the one. We see the answers where they went to go and brought people from Niger with Nigerian federal government vehicle. We saw it. Everybody saw it, and that process was delayed. Why? Because the federal government now infiltrated into the system, and that was all. That is what they are doing in the East. All the people they are sending, are they actually a repentant Boko Haram? That is the question. Why are we still having the problem today? So Nigeria, on the other hand, we don't know what to do, because anybody that just come up and begin to tell us cook and bull story, we just believe the person. So what does it take us so long? When somebody have told us a person of what they call this Zimbabwean president, the most educated president in Africa, he said it's only Nigeria you vote in, illiterate president, and you expect him to do like Obama. I've been saying this again. Do we have to have another Buhari again? Whereby the second in command will be in charge of the whole thing. The person who have a mastermind the Chibok guys. Go and look into that matter and see that this man was in charge of that kidnapping. When they warned him, don't conduct election, close that school, he said he will provide a security. Then on that day, it's only one, what they call it, this gate man they put in there without gun, without anything. And these people operate hours. They operate throughout the whole night with how many bikes? For you to kidnap 300 people with bikes, is it an easy task? These people know what they are doing. So if Nigeria can play into that gallery now and they are foolish enough to vote in this person, I bet you today is 18th of December. Go and mark down. This person is going to do the worst. Already he said he will.
All right, just for you, we lost you again.
Just for you. Your
Thank you.
Okay. We lost just for you. I think he's having problem with his network. He said it before, and I'm very sorry.
Thank you for your
we have
wonderful submission.
God sent back. We have God sent back. So maybe we just give the floor to God
We
sent.
lost him again.
Oh.
Let's move
What's
on to the
happening to
next
these
person.
people's network? Are they in Amagba?
I don't know for you, lefties. I don't know for you.
All right. Okay. Let's just go straight to Breadman. Breadman, please talk to us.
I greet you guys. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, Breadman. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Congratulations to Argentina. I think they deserve the win. Well, it was a good fight on the side of France. So, yeah, quickly, the video about Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari talking about ensuring that there's going to be a free and fair election. Well, that's what we want. But I expect that Buhari will be doing more than talk. You know, you can't just be saying that you have given INEC all the resources and then you expect them to deliver a free and credible election. But in the meanwhile, we are seeing everything that is happening. We are hearing stories of voters' cards being bought for certain prices. We are hearing INEC offices being burnt. We are hearing difficulties with Nigerians trying to get their PVCs, you know, and yet the president has not taken an affirmative action to say, INEC, come on, what is going on? Give an executive order or something, make a shake body so that Nigerians will know that in addition to the talk, of course, the talk is not to Nigerians because Buhari does not talk to Nigerians. He only goes to talk on international platforms. But we expect that he puts more action to his words than just telling us that he expects INEC to deliver a free and credible election because of resources that have been provided to them. You know, I begin to wonder, is this actually Buhari? I mean, just to reflect on what I think Mr. Alex said, the Buhari that we saw in 2014 and the Buhari we are seeing now do not appear to be the same. Do not appear to be the same people. So, how about, let me ask this question. If we, after this Buhari's regime, we find out that what Nnamdi Kanu has been saying is true, what are we going to do? That the person that has been in Aso Rock all this while is not Buhari. What are we going to do? I keep wondering why Bola Ahmed Tinubu was shouting, Buhari, 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 say it again, Buhari. I mean, if you go and what does that mean? I mean, I'm trying to understand what that meant. Is it possible that Tinubu knows that that person is not Buhari? What led to the Emiloko statement? What led to this, self entitlement, body language? So there are a lot of things that are happening that we don't know. But what we are preaching and what we are conversing for is that the right leader in the person of Mr. Peter Obi emerges. Well, let us give it to Buhari, the one we know today, that in this administration, one of the things that he has done that we must always commend him for, in addition to, criticizing him, is this new electoral act. So it is left for we Nigerians to insist that everything that is spelled out in that electoral act be implemented in this coming election, from the use of beavers and other provisions that prevents rigging of the election. Nigerians must insist that those provisions are put in place in order for us to collectively make sure that the person Nigerians want to steer this ship and pilot this plane is who arrives there. I don't have much to say concerning other videos because I think this is when I joined, was this only Buhari's video that I saw. I don't know whether Mr. Leftis wants to help me out with the video before Buhari. What video was that?
The Buhari videos, we did three Buhari videos, and the first one was he's telling Nigeria to vote whoever they feel, whoever they want.
That's good.
That was the first video. The second video was on INEC. He was saying that INEC have not complained, that everything INEC asked that they provided for INEC. So he was asked that this attack on INEC, if it will not affect the incoming election. He says so far he doesn't seem it will, because INEC has not complained, and they have no reason to even complain because they were all funded enough, meaning whatever happened, they can replace it immediately. So according to him, that was the second video. While the third video, the last video was on his birthday when he turned 80. And he also went, he promised to make sure election is going to be fair and free and all of that. I think those are the
Thank you for putting me up to speed. I can only comment on one so that I can let other people talk. I want to agree with President Muhammadu Buhari that the destruction of the INEC offices, the few INEC offices and facilities that have been attacked, should not affect the election. And I say that with my understanding of the fact that the materials that were in those INEC offices were considered non-sensitive materials, which can easily be replaced, and there has been enough time for them to replace those things. I also understand that the sensitive materials that are used for elections are usually deployed either a night or a few days to the day the ballot is going to be casted. So with that understanding, I want to agree with the president that the few INEC offices that have been affected by their fellow politicians, because they are the politicians that are trying to suppress, the votes and frustrate the electoral process. They are the ones doing that attack, not frustrated and poor and hungry Nigerians. No. So yes, it shouldn't affect the outcome of the election, and INEC has had enough time to make sure that they replace whatever non-sensitive materials that have been damaged. And they also, I believe, the funds are solid enough for them to provide adequate security, for their facilities, to make sure that all these attacks are not continually perpetrated. Well, thank you. I'm going to be on the background. If I need to talk again, then I'll come in.
All right, thank you, Godsent. Thank you for coming back to give us your own opinion. We'll just go straight to the next person. Breadman.
No.
Are you
now,
okay?
Breadman just finished talk. Now you go back to Godsent. Godsent is who I believe is
okay. Okay, Godsent is back. Yes, Godsent, please talk to us.
Mr. Lefty, this one where they call the Breadman several times. So what did they happen? Now the football. Hello? Mr. Lefties, I can't hear you.
When I take call Godsent in all day, 9 Breadman take over. Me don't forget.
I mean, they give you bread.
I tell you, he just they call Breadman several times.
Even that thing where they talk, yourself, you don't derail now. When you nearly call, you put Breadman ginger. When the thing that they had, they remove ginger. It is whether that you they give me bread. Talk to us.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Lefties. Mr. Naija Wash, I would like you guys to check on this video. It's possible for you to search that video for me so that you can play it on the screen so that people will see the video. I think it's a committee they just opened to investigate the CBN governor, Mr. Ganduje something. When he was talking about 89 trillion naira that was stolen by the CBN governor. So he said that this committee was opened by the president. The president gave him the power to investigate, and they found they retrieved 89 trillion naira that was stolen by the CBN governor. So the man was saying it in Sahara TV. If you can find that video so you can play it, then I just want you to hear what the man was saying. So if you can do that as I'm making my submission. So that's to tell you the height of the situation where we are in Nigeria. Nigeria, these people have sucked our country dry. These vampire leaders that we have. Then, if you look at Buhari, Buhari is very slow in his speech. This is the kind of leader we elect in power. People, the leaders that cannot speak fluently. This is the reason why many of them, they have problem to talk to Nigeria. They have problem to talk to Nigerians. If Buhari is talking, it's like if somebody is about to faint. That is where he's talking. This is the kind of leader we elect. A country where we have almost large resources. How this kind of person that is there is a this thing. Somebody who don't have strength to even speak. How is he going to control the resources and the people of that country? The largest black nation in the world. This is the kind of people we elect in power. You know, the last time when I talked about this thing here, that if these white people can come and make things right in our country, they say, well, I'm calling for slavery. Have you seen any Western country where they elect all those kind of lifeless people in power? It's only Africa you see. The kind of people we elect in Africa, lifeless people who cannot even speak. Those are the kind of people we commit our resources and the people to their hands. A country where we have a lot of intellectuals, vibrant people, but the people that is ruling us is people that is close to that is almost close to 100 years, 200 years. That is kind of people we have in power. Then when you are talking about, look at how old, do you know how old France is? Look at the president that is leading this country. You think they don't have people in politics, but they gave a man of 43 years, because what they look is not by your age.
He was 39. He was 39, my brother. He was 39
yes,
when he came.
He was 39 when he came into power. Now he's 42 now, 43. You understand? But this Miss Africa now, they will say, how old are you? They will say, Park well. You this small boy. You said you want to rule this country. These people look at competence, they don't look at your age. But it's Africa. People that is close to 800, those are the ones they see as people who can rule their country. Omoyele Sowore came out. Look the way this politician was talking to him the last time, telling him that, how old are you? You said you want to rule this country. You're supposed to go as a senator, local government chairman. That's what they were telling him. Those who live, these are vampire politicians. That's what they were telling Omoyele Sowore. They don't believe that is by your this thing, your qualification. They don't believe in that. They believe it's by your age. That is why Africa cannot move forward. Africa is still creeping. You understand? It's a shame. Look at the other one. He's peeing on his clothes. Yeah? The president of South Sudan. This is what old age can do to people. We don't need this kind of people in power. If Africa want to move forward, we should not look about we need to look about your credential, your qualification. That is what we need to look. That is what will make Africa great again. You understand? Vibrant people. That is the kind of people we're supposed to be electing. You know, it's a shame. Africa is one of the richest continents in the world, with a continent that is endowed with so much resources. But the people who put in power, people that is close to 100 years, that cannot even think anymore. People who is lost in their memory. Tell me how this kind of people will manage the kind of resources they have. People that cannot even know the population of their country. Tell me how this kind of people will manage the resources that God has given to them, that country. You know, this man is a chameleon. Anybody that take his word, I'm sorry for that person. This Buhari. Buhari will go to all those this thing. What he always do, he always portray himself as a good leader. Anytime he go for international this thing, he always portrays himself as a good leader. That is what he always do. He's hypocrite. He's an hypocrite. That man. He will tell them, I will make it be a free and fair election. When he come back to Nigeria, violence everywhere. He'll be provoking violence. That man, my brother, we have a lot of way to go. This one that we are talking about now, under his nose, people are stealing 89 trillion. Somebody that said he is fighting corruption. And he will come out tomorrow, he will give a statement, he will tell you Nigerians that he has done well for Nigeria. A man that said he wanted to fight corruption. Somebody, your thief, 89 trillion under your nose. When they went to go, when they went to meet him and tell him that, look what happened. And you know what he replied then? He said, as usual, he said, I was not aware. So, my brother, let me just keep it right there, my brother, because I don't feel stressed myself, follow this hour. They're not going to change. They don't deaf, these leaders, where you see so. Nothing, they can't change. We will scream all our heart out. These people, they will not change. For them to even listen, to apply what we are saying, they will prefer to even find the person and kill the person. That is only what they know. They don't know anything about development. What they know is to suppress people. You understand? To traumatize and to monetize. That is what they do. I said, this guy said, what is his name? Kanye West. He said they like to traumatize and monetize. My brother, thank you so very much, Mr. Leftis. Mr. Leftis, yes, I wish you can find that video that I was talking about. I wish you can find it so you can play it on the screen.
But finding it now, it will take me because I don't know the topic. I don't know the title. Just send me the link if you can. Go to the video, copy the link I just sent, then we can see if we can paste it.
If you just go to your YouTube, just put it on YouTube. This thing, the investigation of this thing, CBN governor, 89 trillion naira. It will come out in YouTube.
Okay, all right, thank you. But before that, let's listen to the next person on the list, which is Pharaoh the Great. Pharaoh the Great, thank you very much. Please, Pharaoh the Great, talk to us. It's supposed to be late Biafra nation, but he has long gone. Pharaoh, you have the floor. Thank you. Pharaoh, is Pharaoh with us?
Pharaoh, don't go. He's not in the screen.
Oh no, he's here, but it seems he's not close to his Davos. Anyway, if he's not available right now, it means that please you can call in because somebody asked if you could callers can contribute. Yes, at the moment, callers can contribute. The line I put there now is currently available, or if you want to call the regular line, well, you can, but I don't know if Elvis is just presently there now. But you can call this if you want to contribute through phones. But while we wait for Pharaoh, we'll continue. We'll go for a few minutes break and then go round again before we give it up for today.
All right. Thank you very much, my people. We appreciate every one of you. I guess everybody have contributed, leftists, right?
Yes, everybody have contributed.
Thank you, my dear brother. All right, let's move on, my people. Let's listen to another. This is the last segment for today, and let's take it from here. As you all know, that I'll be talking about the duration of ruling in Nigeria. I'll be talking about it for a while. For some of you that have been following us for a while, you should know that I'll be saying that even for 4 years that they are giving to these people in Nigeria is too long. You give them 4 years, they finish, and obviously they already have in mind that they want to go for the second term, which is going to make it 8 years. I've talked about it severally that why I come they are not giving them 2 years. Some people countered me here by saying 2 years is not enough for them to work. This blah 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 and all that. Listen, guys, 2 years is a lot of years. In case you don't know, 24 months is a lot of years. I'm happy because Brekete family, I was watching it. There was a part where he emulated what I've been saying for the past 2 years. I was so happy because you know why? Whenever I see people, replicate what I've said before on this platform, I'm always happy. Even though you don't applaud me myself, personally, inside me, I'm always happy because I've said it before. That 2 years is enough. Presidents go win. As it will be now one win by God's grace. 2 years. After 2 years, go reapply again. That's where you see that they will start working from the start if they become a president. We are going to talk about this in case some of you are still saying, no, it's not enough, because some people disputed and opposed me in the past when I mentioned it. But let's listen to this.
You plan to achieve these things and when you plan to achieve them. In the past, all the promises where they make, nobody they stipulate time say, in my 1 year in office, when I go see say I go don't do this. In my 2nd year in the office, when I go see say I don't do this. This time around, you tell us how. And we hold you to account. Person go do 4 years, he say he need another 4 years too. What if the tenure na 2 years?
Okay.
What you make? Now just mentality. Some people know they read until exam done near. What if they had shortened the tenure to say it is now 2 years, which means after 2 years, you'll be looking forward to another 2 years, which is just the same thing you have in one tenure in Nigeria.
Okay. All right, my people. I thought I should bring that here, because I respected this man a lot. He's one of the people I respect on social media, and he's doing a lot of job for humanity. But I said this thing before. You guys, for our tele followers, when I know I don't talk this thing so many times here. Sometimes when we are angry, we are vibrating, God will be speaking through us. I don't talk, I'm tired. That if the constitution have to change, a lot of things need to change on our constitution. Nigeria constitution needs to change in totality. The 4 years they are giving to them is just too much, to be honest. Start from all of them, the governor, the minister, the senators, the reps, all of them, presidency, they should truncate it to 2 years. 2 years, after 2 years, you go for another election. In case you don't do well for your first 2 years, you'll be thrown out. You'll be thrown out. So I thought I should bring that here, Let's move on to the other videos that we have here. Thank you very much, my people. I bet make una help us share and like this broadcast. Let me see if I can get the other video right here. 1 minute, my people. Okay. Wiki came out to say that whenever he's sleeping, Atiku people, they call it torment him for sleep. If you wake up now, making fire them, they will say him to talk. In the only now, they don't leave him. Make we listen to this.
2 days ago, I was watching on television, and you see how people, it's unfortunate. I was watching on television. I saw Limeba, I saw Sumapara, I saw Desekibo on television, that my humble self sent people to Limeba's house, to attack him, to kill him. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought by now we should have a limit in playing politics. But you saw the Commissioner of Police report. Commissioner of Police said, listen, your house is surrounded by all houses. You have 2 gates to your house. None of the gates was destroyed, not one. 2, in your house, no window was damaged, not one. The cars, he said, they were damaged. Cars, rickety cars, but new brand cars were not touched. Have you ever seen such? But see, I laugh. I say, God, well, you know the truth. But when people are pushing politics too far, when I'm sleeping, you're waking me up. I don't want to wake up. You are the one waking me up. When I wake, whatever you see, you take.
Okay, now here I'm there, Governor Wike, saying they sleep, that they wake them up. If you wake up now, anything where they see me, they take them like that as it be. All right, let's move on now to as you all know, David, who came out the other day to blow the whistle that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a drug baron. You know, he went as far by talking about his education and all that. So he went viral on social media. Many of us remember. So he came back again to Arise. He was questioned, and he have a lot to say. As you all know that Tinubu is currently threatening journalists, broadcasters, all because he thinks that he have the money to do everything. Remember, last week we also talked about it here, how Tinubu and his people, APC members, chieftains, how they try to pressure Arise to pursue Rufai, you know, out of his job. So Arise cried out that, no, you don't have any rights to tell us what to do, you know. And after all, our staff have not gone against the rules. So I'd like us to listen to this, because extensively, all journalists are talking about this. The oppression, the suppression, they can't take it no longer. Let's watch this.
Discuss this is David Undeyin, an investigative journalist, and Agba Jalingo, a Nigerian journalist and activist. Gentlemen, welcome to the morning show.
Thank you.
Well, the introduction, yes, thank you. The introduction already says it all. This ongoing attack on independent media by the APC Presidential Campaign Council, specifically Mr. Dele Alake and Mr. Bayo Ononuga, although they claim to be speaking on behalf of everybody within that party. Let me start with you, David Undeyin, and then Agba Jalingo will also state his observations.
Right. So it feels as if the only way that it can win this conversation and win the election in 2023 is by bullying everyone in its way and doing things that even the past administration didn't do when these guys were in opposition. And that's where I have a serious problem, because this wasn't that long ago. This was maybe 7 or 8 years ago. We all witnessed what was done in 2014 and 2015. I worked in the marketing industry at the time, so I had a front row seat to see what was done in media, in advertising, in PR, in experiential marketing, all sorts of things that were done by the then opposition. I mean, at the time, I remember we had, to the extent of there being satirical TV shows, you know, and cartoon shows, puppet shows, ridiculing the then president. Nobody got into trouble for that. There was no furious press release coming out from the presidency or from the PDP campaign then having a go at anyone for essentially practicing some form of independent journalism. Everybody was free to do what they wanted to do. I think we all agreed that this was some kind of expression of the deepening of democracy. I know you yourself were actually part of that administration at the time. And as I recall, even though you had a series of, you know, backs and forths with the then opposition, it never got to the point of actually telling them, stop doing your job, or you trying to dictate to them how they should do their job. Because at the end of the day, journalism is a very subjective thing. People practice journalism in the way that they see fit. There is no universal standard for what constitutes journalism. So I find it very funny. And I think it's also a self-indictment on the part of the APC's presidential campaign that they feel that the existence of independent media that is not under their control, and the desire of such media platforms to simply ask questions of their candidates somehow is a threat to them, that they have to come out with all this fire and fury, sending out myriad statements, leveraging all their media assets, you know, newspapers, TV stations to pump out this narrative that some set of people are somehow having a go at our candidates for some nefarious reasons or something. Meanwhile, all anyone wants to know is, can your candidate please come and present himself to the people that he intends to govern, that he wants to govern? Can he answer these questions? Because at the end of the day, your candidate is not applying to become the president of the APC or to become the president of Dele Alake and Bayo Onanuga. Your president is applying to become the president of Nigeria, which means everyone in Nigeria, including those of us having this conversation. So if he's going to be our president, whether or not we even vote for him, assuming he wins the election, then that means that we have every right to ask certain questions. That means we have every right to demand, not ask, demand that he presents himself to answer questions. He presents himself for scrutiny. That's a normal thing. So I think it's only in Nigeria that I've seen it where a job seeker or people speaking on behalf of a job seeker are angry that the employers are asking the job seeker to come for an interview.
Okay. Agbajalingo, over to you.
Well, I saw the last time that Trump decided to drive a reporter out of the White House. And the CNN chose to go to court. While they were in court, even Fox that was supporting Trump had to go join CNN in court to say, no, sir, we are not going to allow you to encroach into our turf. This is the media. There have been reporters in the White House before all of us were born, including you, Trump. So we will not allow you to encroach into our turf. That is the kind of attitude that I was expecting from people like Dele Alake and Bayo. Not to see respected people like this working very assiduously to see how they will continue to suffocate the media space. It is rather very, very disappointing. I am a victim of this kind of attitude where people feel that the press should not talk. So every time I get very emotional and tingly when people begin to make this kind of efforts. Two judges in England this year gave a judgment in court saying that if our freedom of speech includes only saying nice things, then there is no need for it. As a matter of fact, they said that the freedom of speech includes insulting the other person. And if you are not angry, if you are not happy about it, you find your way to the court.
I like that part. If our freedom of speech is only includes saying nice things about people, then there's no need of freedom of speech. Because some people can be angry and say it how it is. Some people can be angry and insult you. All is inclusive when it comes to freedom of speech. But in Nigeria, they intimidate you whenever you speak. When you speak anything that is against them, you are in trouble. If you read properly and go do a research, study what freedom of speech actually means. It means speaking how you like is freedom of speech. Listen to what he's saying here again.
Freedom of speech includes only saying nice things, then there is no need for it. As a matter of fact, they said that the freedom of speech includes insulting the other person. And if you are not angry, if you are not happy about it, you find your way to the court, not to try to suffocate people and gag people from talking.
Then take me to court. That's what freedom of speech stands for. But in Nigeria, no. They want to look for you. They want to take your life. They want to intimidate you. They want to oppress you. They want to suppress you. How long are we going to continue like this? Rufai have never, ever insulted Tinubu. He's just saying it how it is. The reason why you see we are still on this case is because we are doing the same job. We all are doing the same job. You don't know, what these people are thinking of us as well. So I'd like us to talk on all this. I have an old video here that I would like to play about Renault. Every one of us have seen this video before, but I just want to play it to remind and refresh people's mind again.
I'm with my friend here, Governor Peter Obi. We're in DC. We came in for the National Prayer Breakfast. But you see, I listened to this man. I listened to Governor Peter Obi. And, ex-Governor Peter Obi, the plans, the ideas, this man raised the bar of leadership in Nigeria. He raised the bar of leadership in Nigeria. Since he left office, can you believe that this man does not take anything, not even like a penny from the Anambra State government? And while he was there, he was a man that built up Anambra State. Anambra State used to be almost educationally disadvantaged. And then in less than 2 years, he brought them to be #1. He left that state with a reserve. Look, we need people like this. I'm so proud of Governor Obi. I listened to him today and, I was taught, like, do we have fellows like this in Nigeria? I'm very proud of this man. Look at everything that he has touched. He made money for himself in the private sector. He made money for Anambra State in government. Anambra State doesn't borrow money. Are you aware of that? These bailout funds that the current administration is giving states, Anambra State, he left enough for Anambra State. I'm very proud of this man. Governor Obi, please just say something to my followers, to my fans.
Well, thank you, all of you. All I'm saying is that we have no other country except Nigeria. We must work hard to build it. We must build it. It's our country. We cannot bequeath our children and those coming after us anarchy. We will befit them a better country.
Now you heard it. God bless you. Talk to you guys later.
You see why I continue to play videos like this? Because I'm going to start playing more videos like this. For you guys to know that many of those that is fighting my principal today, Mr. Peter Obi, they have raised him up before with their tongue. They have praised him before. But today they are fighting him based on their own selfish interests. Reno is fighting Peter Obi today for no single reason. That's what I'm saying, including Tinubu, Atiku, all of them. They don't have anything to say against my principal. Till tomorrow. None of them. They don't have anything to say about him. Let's talk about all these videos that I've played right now. Thank you, Lefties. Back to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Niger Watch. Well, if I must go by the last video that you just played of Reno talking about Peter Obi, it shows that, you see, anything that goes into the media, it's like a safe. It's not like, even when, it's not like our memory, oh, we get to forget it. It never got lost because it is saved at many sources. Reno have forgotten himself that at one point in time,
he did this video.
He did this video to sell himself and to have obedient as followers by bringing Peter Obi's goodwill, the face and name, to his product. That's why I say, just say something to my followers.
Exactly.
He know he's a good man, and he went ahead to indict himself by saying, "This is the kind of man we need. Do we still have people like this in Nigeria?"
Exactly.
This is a man that did this, that did that, that did this, that did that, that did this. He never took money. He left a lot of money. He did this. Imagine after saying something like this same person will go back and collect money from PDP and start to vomit rubbish and start to say things again against the person you use his face to sell your product at a time. What does that look like? Meaning he's shameless human being. I cannot be eating my vomit. If I have said this, then I should stay by it. Anything that concerns such a man, even if he is not my candidate, I should just stay away from anything that concerns him, not by destroying him. Because I have said with this same mouth what is good about him. Then why will I now again be saying things that is not proper of the same person? That means two-edged sword. That is the kind of man he has. You can say anything at any time. Fickle-hearted and flipsy mouth, flipsy tongue. It's a pity, Reno. You see, I've always said it before that I don't take anything serious from Reno. Reno is a politician and he's eating from the political spectrum, and he will do anything to satisfy his orgas at the top. And we understand his style. people like Reno, what's his name? Kayamo,
Dino Melaye.
Dino Malaye, they are all in the same categories. They are good to talk. They can change their words anytime. They can come out to impress you. All they just want is for themselves. They don't really care about you. It's about what they are getting from what they are doing. They are doing business. That's how I put it. Now, going by the attack on press freedom is very, very unfortunate. You see why Emilico is going to fail? There's no way in the world where any candidate, government, fights the media and succeed. If you want to ask me, who I go ask, go and ask the last American president before now. Go and ask him. He had a media war. What happened to him? That will bring you down. Tinubu has started a fight. He can never win. You cannot fight the media and get away with it. It's not possible. It's never possible. Because the Arise TV is inviting him and saying things that Nigeria are saying, and is running away from such platform. And you are now trying to use other platform to fight that platform. It's not going to work. You are using your organized platform, organized unquote, people that are under your payroll. They are not saying it freely. You are paying them. It's like a contract. Let's do this. You see, all those system, analog system, not going to work anymore. We're in the digital system. Tinubu, you cannot run now. Can you run? No, you can't run. So stay one place and watch. You cannot run. Leave those that have the strength to run. Those that have the strength to run, they are already running. You're already in one place. You cannot run. So there's nothing Tinubu can do. His old system, these are the system Nigerian politicians have been using. They bring a product for you to buy, you buy them. And I see a lot of Nigeria buy into what they want you to know. Usually they use the press. After that, they use organized talks to put fear into you, just like Elvis have just said. When you didn't budge, they go after your life. They start taking things that will make you regret. If they can't take you, they'll take either your wife, your children, or your business away. They'll start to affect you spiritually, physically, emotionally. They want to break you down in all ways they could. If you want to ask me, I'm gonna go ask the man, Salary, after him speaking to Babangida at all time, accusing him. You know what they did to him? For you that don't understand, they gave him People's Bank, Community Bank, to manage, if I may remember that history very well. And he accepted. That's when something very bad happened to him. He accepted managing the bank, and they gave him, allow people that was working with him to steal. They stole so much money. This man did not take no pen. And when they started investigating him, when you want to say, look, it's not me. They say that is how government is. So stop talking. Stop talking. You see? You didn't say, you say you didn't, but they stole under your name. That's how government is. So guys, it's a clear matter. Attacking the media, you cannot succeed media. The truth, you cannot fight the truth. It's not possible. You cannot turn light, daylight to night. You don't have the power. So whatever system, tactics, method you are employing to blackmail people for saying the truth, for unfolding the truth, many people are dying. Yes, If you just live in Lagos, you go against Tinubu, don't just leave Lagos. His talk will come after it or kill you. If you are living anywhere, his talk will come after it or kill you. See the way they've been harassing Rufai on the road, on the street, on the malls, threatening his life for just saying the truth. That is Nigeria for you, because the security of life and property, the government is not responsible for you. But by law, they are supposed to protect you. It's a pity that APC, they are biting more than they could chew. It's very, very unfortunate. For all the mistakes they've been doing, this one will kill them finally. Because these are the media now. These are the people that talk. These are the people that have the camera. These are the people that have the right, that can write. And you want to fight them. If they go after you are finished, they will dig you out and they will broadcast you very well. And that will be the end of you. You don't fight the media anywhere in the world. You don't. It's a no-go area. When they take you up, it's finished for you. And it's finished for blah, 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 blah. Every day he's making same mistake. Every day. He thinks we are still living in the 80s. Where they do all nonsense and get away. I can tell you more about him other than Nadeko. Yes. He may not remember I was a little boy going out with my uncle then, who was also a Nadeko member, who was arrested with the Abacha and locked up in Kuje prison for years. I have seen Tinubu. Then, man, look, if you don't know, don't talk. A lot is happening other politics. You see ambassadors coming to see these people, giving them accounts. They don't give you money. They put money in your account. I've shaken hands with so many of them. I'm talking of when I just left secondary school. When I was there, my uncle that exposed me to so many of these things, how they move at night.
We have a call. 1 minute, please.
Good.
Rita, good evening to you. Please talk to us.
Okay, thank you, Elvis. Good evening, everyone. And Mommy Diaspora and everyone in the comment section. Lefties, I just wanted to respond to something. You made a comment. You said Reno is a politician. I just want to make it clear. The likes of Reno, Dino, Kayamo, they are not politicians. They are trolls. They are thugs wearing Rolex watches, driving Lamborghini. They are not politicians. We need to get it right. We need to get it right. They are not politicians. If you want to know who a real politician is, and you have an opposition, the things that you argue about are economic things. And if Peter Obi says, okay, we're going from production, and we're going to the production stage, as an opposition, you should give me reasons why Nigeria shouldn't just depend on production. If we listen to the debate between late John McCain, I think that's one of the greatest American politicians, John McCain and Obama. When you look at how they argue, nobody was talking about, even when somebody was trying to put Obama down and saying, oh, he's a terrorist, he's a Muslim, McCain shut the woman down and said, no, that is a lie. That is not what this man is. Let us talk about the real issues. Those are politicians, my dear. Those are politicians. Reno, Dino, they are not politicians. They are trolls and they are admirals when Rolex wristwatches, driving expensive cars. And they've been in the system for so long that we look at them as politicians. Peter Obi's emergence is not trying to tell people this is how you play politics. So what they're doing, please, they are not politicians. They are not. They are all thugs. Thugs that just carry sand, that carry PhD, that carry master's degree, and they are wearing Rolex watches, or they have Lamborghini, they have Rolls Royce, and then they are wearing Babariga, wearing Agbada, or a nice Armani suit, and you look at them as, oh, they are not politicians. We need to correct that narrative. They are thugs. They are trolls. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Rita.
Well, Madam Rita, thank you very much for giving them another big name.
Yeah, you can see this before you go on, my brother. You can see the picture on.
Yes, we know this now. When he was drinking Gary now.
This is, apart from the Gary, look at the background. Look at the background. This was before Dino Melaye gets to power. Before he entered, put himself into the Nigerian government. This was how he was living. You can see how poor he was. Today, he have different flips of cars, expensive, exotic cars in his compound. Look at him before he gets to the government. Just look. Look at him. Apart from, leave the Gary alone. Look at the environment. This is his room. Look at that environment. He get microwave for inside a room. Microwave. He put on top of his fridge for a room. That means he was living in one room, self-contained. It's obvious now. You can see it right there. Because if he was doing well, microwave, when I don't see where people they keep microwave for inside room. This was his lifestyle. Today, this guy is a multi-billionaire. Then you will tell me that when he speak, you will listen. When he speak, you will. Oh, I don't know why Nigerians are so gullible. Let's move on. Let's call on the next person. Back to you, leftists.
Yes, Madarita just gave them a very big name, a beautiful name. But in the Nigeria concept, most of the people who call politicians are all political hoodlums. I'm using Nigeria concept to deal with these people. So that's why I use the word politician, because we have so many people, several people who even Dino and Reno is better than, they are still in the government. These are political hooligans. We must put politics, because why we must put politics? They are playing it. Dino was a senator. Reno was one of the advisor. What position was he holding? They are playing politics, for goodness sake. They are political hoodlums, political hooligans. So we must add politics, because is he a pastor? No. Is he a taxi driver? No. Is he, what office will you, who is he? So in Nigeria context, they are politicians. And this, the Nigeria politics. And that's why we must change the narrative. The Nigeria politics it is even the hooligans, the criminals, the 419s, the killers that goes into the politics of Nigeria. The political platform of Nigeria is filled up with all these nuisance and as Alex not on the here, make me speak the English finish. These are just the people there. It is Nigeria politics. You cannot compare such people with the America politics, where people are talking about what they have read, what they want to do. They are talking about real issues affecting people. You don't even have right. The community or the country does not give you room to behave like Latino, because our community and our what would I call it, security apparatus is backing them up. If we have a good security system, you'll be careful. You don't talk anyhow, you don't steal. They will notice you once and they'll come after you. They don't need to follow you. Everything you do is being known. I take your correction, but still, I think we are saying the same thing. They are political hooligans. Thank you very much. So let's not talk too much on Dino, because it's not important. Let's not also talk too much on Reno. It's not also very important. Let's not also talk too much on these APC oppressors and attacking the media. They'll get it back. Maybe they can't attack us. They'll get it back. It's unfortunate they can't stop the investigation. They can't hold people not to talk. People will always say what they know. Just like I was saying what I know. Yes, I visited your house at night when people are sleeping. That's when we roll. Tinubu, if you remember, I was a small boy. But I learned too lots. Yes, let's go straight to say on this. I think the first person is Mr. Ike. Ike, you don't wake up. Okay, thank you. I saw you praying. In fact, you did not sleep. You were praying.
My brother. Aye. You know. Listen. My last word is a word of encouragement and word of strength for every one of us. when I joined this platform, I did say, I repeat it all the time, that the fight is going to become hotter, it's going to become stronger, and we are beginning to experience and witness that. But let us never, ever give up. They're after us, but good things never come easy. You know, 1,000 miles start with one step. So they will come with they will come to us with everything, but it's not going to change anything. So I want to encourage all of us to keep the faith and keep the fire burning. God is in our side. They will come with everything. You see what they're trying to do in the southeast where I come from. I just want to let my fellow Nigerians never worry what is going on in the southeast. By the month of February, on the day of the election, you will prove me wrong or you prove me right. And I want to tell you here today that people like the governor of Anambra State, his political career in the eastern Nigeria is gone forever. And I think that this will be the last time after his tenure finishes, he can never be the governorship of Abga. And Abga has lost Anambra State already for Labour Party whenever his time comes to an end. So all these political irrelevant men and women in the southeastern Nigeria, let them not confuse my fellow brothers from other part of Nigeria. The Obi of Onitsha is the Obi of Onitsha. You know, they used to say Igbos are no king. No, it's not true. We have some honorable and respectable king in Igbo land. And those people, we know them. You know, for just to tell you where I'm driving at. Where have you seen Peter Obi gone, or any of the political presidential candidate has gone, that the traditional ruler has to leave his stool to go to somewhere to welcome a presidential candidate? It is a sacrilege. It's an abomination of somebody of Obi of Onitsha's pedigree in academic and in everything was so reduced himself with the governor of Anambra State that he left his ancestral stool in Onitsha and go to Oka government house to welcome Atiku Abubakar. For Christ's sake, these people does not represent me, my brothers and sisters. They represent themselves. They have no political. They have listen. They are political. They don't have anything in Eastern Nigeria. So all these Emeka Ihedioha people who we were defending when he lost his governorship election through rigging and the rest of them, he has become politically irrelevant in Imo State. They are not representing the Eastern people. You will see what an Igbo man will do in February, because any Igbo man, any genuine Igbo man who tell you that his PVC is for Atiku Abubakar or any other person is lying. We shall see what will happen in February. The massive support and the massive vote Peter Obi is going to get in South and Eastern Nigeria. So all these people, you should know better than me. These people has no political relevance in Eastern Nigeria. We don't even have political leaders anymore because we can never trust any of them. Those ones that we have trusted, they have failed. So they are on their own. They are looking for political relevance that they cannot get. The present generation, the present crop of Easterners today that we have, they are with Labour Party. They know what they want, and we know what we want. The real traditional and eminent leaders in Igbo land know what they want. So we are looking at people like Dr. Ezife. There are certain group of people in Eastern Nigeria that we can still rely upon. So I am appealing to all of us, let us not be deceived with what is going on in Eastern Nigeria. It's a manipulation. It is all about their stomach. They want to make us look like we don't want the presidency. They want to make us look like, oh, listen, we are not in peace. Oh, we are not together. Oh, we're working against each other. They will do that politics. Everybody's supposed to know that's what they're going to do. Because they know that their history, their book will be closed in February by the special grace of God. Because God himself, through P2B, is training a new political crop of leaders, men and women of credible character in Eastern Nigeria and Nigeria as a whole. So I am telling you that I am not disturbed. Sometimes it is worrying for people who has not been in politics for a very long time or who has not followed politics for a very long time. But I know that with my little experience, last month I didn't tell you, but I celebrated my 60 years birthday Monday last week. So I am no more a small man in this world. I've lived a good life in this life. And I know what I'm saying. I've been a community leader for so many years. I've seen so many things. I've been privileged to shake hands with Obasanjo Abdul Salam Abubakar. I've sat in the same conference room with these people back then in Africa, in Mali. So this politics that is going in Eastern Nigeria, everybody is looking for political relevance in the wrong place. Because the North has always promised them you are going to be president. Can you imagine it, Elvis and lefties? Do you think that any Igbo man who listened to the comment of Abubakar, that an Igbo man presidency is only through him? Do you know what that word means? For an honest Igbo man, do you know what that word means? It is a word we will never forget. No Igbo man will forget that word. And for every Igbo man who engineered that voice, people like Ihedioha, people like Chief Ulas, people of Kwesile Zemodo, these people, their children are going to suffer for that word that they allowed Abubakar to speak in Eastern Nigeria. That is only through him that an Igbo man can be president of Nigeria. What an insult. We will not forget in February 2023.
Hey,
I am telling you.
I have a quick question for you. Are you aware that more Fulani herdsmen have gone to kill people in Enugu today?
Listen to me, my brother. I don't want us to play politics or Fulani and the rest. We know what is going on in Eastern Nigeria.
No. I'm not playing politics. I'm asking you a simple question. Are you aware that more Fulani herdsmen have gone to kill people in Enugu today?
How is that related to what he's saying now? How is that related to what he's saying?
Can you just allow me to finish?
I'm not talking to you.
I do not want to answer such questions right now because your questions are always. I don't know where you stand.
Mr. John, whoever that responded to you apart from Mr. Ike is right. Your question, how does it relate to his submission? That's what he's asking you, because you interjected him for him to forget what he's trying to say. Please,
I'm simply asking him a question, and I want to
listen, my brother, Mr. John.
Okay.
Mr. John, hold on, please. Okay. Just hold on. It gets to your turn. Go ahead, Mr. Ike.
Most of the time when I'm with this platform, sometimes I might not join, but because of our time difference and my nature of work. But I always try to have opportunity to listen to every conversation in this platform. Mr. John, let me just tell you, I respect you with your knowledge. But you don't even know what is going on in Nigeria. You only talk history. You live in America. You don't know what is going on in Nigeria, even in Eastern Nigeria. But I am telling you because I know. I am telling you because I lived my life over there. I've lived in every part of Nigeria. I have served my community in every part of Nigeria. So when I'm talking, you don't talk. When I'm speaking, people like you should not speak when I'm speaking. Because I'm telling you from experience.
Ike, who are you to tell me not to speak?
No. John, hold on. Mr. Ike, that is a bit rude. Please.
Yeah,
Don't
who are you? Who are you to tell me to stop? Not to
John,
stop?
please. When it gets to your turn, you will speak. Okay,
Mr.
Ike, don't go that far.
Mr. Elvis, there was one video you played here now. They say freedom of speech. You told play one video about freedom of speech, and Mr. Ike has not insulted him right now. Mr. Ike said when he's speaking,
who are you is not a good one.
He said when he's speaking, when he's speaking,
to be respected. I will not stand here for anybody to disrespect him. Same way, I will not stand here for anybody to disrespect you that is speaking to me right now. You know, we understand we have a freedom of speech, but we have policy here as well. Okay, the word "who are you" to stop me, maybe he's not sure of the other word he can use. Is a bit harsh. That's what I'm saying. You know,
if I must come in here, I think in this case, I think Mr. Ike has the right to say whatever he need to say, because Mr. Ike was just giving his opinion. John E just came in. It has not even got into his turn.
Exactly.
He didn't ask question. He didn't ask question based on what we are talking. He left the topics and starts asking question. Are you aware? It's Mr. Ike that sent people that went to do the killing, the S-men that killed people in Enugu today? That's the question I would like to ask. So for Mr. Ike to say, I listen to.
Don't
if Mr. Ike says,
please, everybody.
If Mr. Ike say, I listen to everybody, and again, he's telling us that with his experience, he's not just talking because he wants to talk from social media. He has stayed in Nigeria. He has stayed in He has been involved in this. He has been involved with politicians, so he knows much. That is on that context. That is what he's telling John. Look, in this area, if I'm talking, you don't need to talk to me, because I think in this area,
okay,
I am talking because I know.
No, the way you put it right now is understandable.
That is the context.
Excuse me, Mr. Elvis, please. Let me say something. This is Breadman. Mr. Ike, it is rude. It is very rude for John to come in and interrupt the flow of thoughts of Mr. Ike. And the interruption was not even in accordance with what he was saying. It was totally different from what he was saying.
Yeah.
How is killing people in Enugu related to the line of thought of the submission of Mr. Ike?
That is why I asked one simple question. Is it Mr. Ike that sent the people that went to do the killing in Enugu today?
And you come and now come and start disturbing everybody and confusing everybody. I don't like that.
That's true. You are right, Breadman. I agree with you, and my brother Leftist, I agree with you.
There's a reason I asked him that question, though.
No, don't worry, Mr. John. You will talk when it gets to you. Please stop interjecting, because sometimes interjection can make people forget what they wanted to say. It does happen to me so many times. When I'm in the mood of saying something and I'm giving my delivery, you interject me, I'll forget about where I stop. Mr. I, please go ahead, sir. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I think I will join you people on Monday, by the special grace of God. But I will be here listening to. I'll be here listening to what is going on. God bless you all, and a blessed weekend for everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ike.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ike. I know that right now your flow of thought has been distracted and have been distorted, but it's okay. It's just okay. Thank you. So we'll just go straight to the next person, because we are going on the second segment. We are doing the video on the second segment, and the first video was on Wike saying that he was sleeping. They go wake him up. Though I did not just say anything concerning that the Wike wahala. But myself, if me see Wike wahala, me go wrong. I go jump fence. That's why I did not even touch on it at all. I only touched on Reno and attack on press. You see when lion they sleep, rat go they wake up. Who find trouble? So the second segment is this. Let's just get ourselves a refresh. For somebody like John E and Mr. T that just joined us, the second segment, the first video we play was on Wiki saying that when they sleep, they're going to wake them up. they went mentioning his name on several attacks, which he is not aware of. And the security system seems to be quiet. They are not doing their job. They will play the video of the attack on press freedom by the APC campaign teams and APC itself. They will later play the video of Reno, which he was using the good name of Peter Obi to sell his product on social media. These were the 3 videos we played on this second segment. Then we call on Ike after I have spoken a little. Then now, I think we'll be going straight to supposedly
Alex.
the next person, Alex.
It's Alex. My brother Alex,
Yes.
please talk to us. And
Thank
once
you.
again, before Alex, Mr. Ike, we will like to apologize to you what happened. But trust me, apart from this politics of a thing, whenever you are talking, sir, I just like to listen to you because you are a father to every one of us here. You know, your words are so powerful. So I want you to have it in mind that this might still happen next time because interjections go on all the time on this platform. You know, even when we try to stop people, they still do it. Even Alex that want to talk, so you always interject people. I don't know as I want to cure her for that one. Alex, talk.
Yes, before you continue, Alex, I want to also say very sorry, Mr. Ike, because going by what you are saying and going by your experience, even me here talking, would not even want to argue with your experience and knowledge. Though we have freedom of speech, but we're Africans. We must, one, learn what is called respect because we're Africans. We must not put that away. That is one. And secondly, sir, this one is on the softer note. To you say you shake President Olusegun Obasanjo. Oga, if you look the screen, look at my hand. You are not looking. You are just ahead.
They look on television. They look on television.
Okay, this hand wey you see so, I happen to also don't shake Obasanjo. Among all of us with the panelists, apart from 2 of us, who don't shake Obasanjo here? No, for real, no, not be for mouth, for real. Apart from 2 of us now, Mona talk now, who don't shake Obasanjo here for these 2 experienced men.
Me, I dey chop with Oga Obasanjo now. I dey follow for my dream. You understand? I dey follow and dey chop.
That dream, we dey talk of physical, not
If you
of
not
which.
Obasanjo, I believe say, although Obasanjo don't fail be president, so the people who want to mention their names. And okay, like if we talk about Nene, and Nene and Obasanjo, they're almost the same level. The only thing Obasanjo pass on I say he don't fair rule now, right? So what are we talking about?
Okay, you want to tell us you don't shake Nene now?
I not only check them. We don't eat together.
When they talk of president, they talk of
that means Mr. Ajawosh, you are a suspect.
No, I'm not a suspect.
Because I nearly joined those who kill this country, and I'm coming for you.
And I've told my story before, except you forgot. Except you
I know. It's on the letter note, though.
Yes. So
Can
Elvis, we talk of president.
Can I quickly take my time now before we discuss presidential Yeah, you don't know what we go through here try to keep up with the.
I know so you're batching at 10%. Quit up before you.
Of course, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Ike, I hope you have accepted our sincere apologia. Yeah, it happens. There are always extempore and impromptu outbursts. Sometimes that's why it's a debate. We are all fighting for the same goal, but some people are frustrated. They look for every opportunity to vent their frustrations on people who still have hope in them. I will not blame John E. the way he comes around sometimes. It's not his fault. I don't know him so well. I don't know him at all. Only we talk here. So sometimes I still reflect on why people do things they do or why they act the way they act. A lot of people have lost hope in Nigeria, and you can't blame them for that. So they kind of want to interact or intercept, or interject at any little, campaign of hope for one Nigeria. I, for one, am not a one Nigerian person. The only one Nigerian medicine or amelioration I have now is Mr. Peter Obi. I want the nation to be torn into 6 countries, if it is possible, because of the wickedness or the callousness of leadership. Okay, I want to take you to the Nigeria Constitution, chapter 4, section 39, section 1. Every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference. I'll stop it there. Gentlemen and ladies, I frown at people who, in the name of godfathers, want to attack the press. You don't attack the press in a democratic terrain or cinematography. You don't do that. So I don't know what the DSS or what the law enforcement are doing about it. A presidential candidate was calling on a TV house to sack or to remove somebody from the screen because the person is being honest, the person is being factual, the person is being pro-Nigerian, because the person is being historical and very charitable with the truth. Because the person is being frustrated by the nonchalantness of leadership. Ahmed Bola Tinubu and his likes should be answering questions. I hope for a leadership, a vibrant leadership. You know, in my submission before, that I hope when Peter Obi comes in, I know he will call me, because the international community almost on a weekly basis are mounting pressure on Mr. Buhari to ensure a free and fair election, not because they are criminals or they are criminals, of course. They are responsible for one or two things happening in Nigeria to keep Nigeria the way it is. But they are looking at the Syrian episode, the Syrian saga, the massive exodus into European countries in 2015, when the war in Syria that started in 2011 or 2012 escalated. We saw 800,000 citizens. The videos are still on YouTube, marching through the nook and cranny of Europe. They came through Turkey and Greece, because Turkey and Syria share a boundary, because of a war situation, of a failed system, because of the Arab Spring fallout. Angela Merkel had to call for emergency amendment of the German constitution. And the European Parliament in Brussels was on fire, that the visa restrictions and boundary laws should be cancelled temporarily because of the massive migration. If Syria could do that, imagine what 250 million Nigerians would do should law break down and things go south. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is no room for error this time around for this administration. They've killed Nigerians, they've destroyed the economy, they've prevented justice, they've armed bandits and terrorists, they've unleashed terror on the citizens, they've borrowed in the name of our third and fourth generations, they've carted monies to the Western world. The only thing the Nigerian public is asking now is a free, fair, transparent elections. So the international body, they know it hit Washington on the Syrian migration into the European Union. If you know what you call Western world, it's a conglomeration of the European Union, America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Everybody was on a standstill. So they've done their calculations. That is why at every given opportunity they meet any Nigerian leaders, especially the president and the vice president. It's all about free, transparent, and fair elections. Because should a war break out in Nigeria, as is being postulated by different sections of the academia in the Americas and in the European Union, it ought to happen in 2007. Obasanjo avoided it. It ought to even come to pass in 2015. Good luck said his ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian, which made him the first black African candidate or a president who is in power to even yield to defeat. So the war is still looming because all the factors, all the parameters, all the antecedents that gave rise to the 1967 civil war led by Ojukwu are still very visible. The nepotism, the tribalism, the massive corruption, the lopsidedness of appointments. Come on now, one side of the nation feeling they are more Nigerian than the rest. So, and it's still happening. So should anything happen, should it be obvious that the election was rigged, just the way it happened in 1993? This time around, with the advent of social media, Nigeria can stand what is going to happen. NSAS was a testing ground. So I want to also give my take on Buhari. Buhari knows what he's talking about when he said we should try to vote, any party we like, vote anybody we like. I like that comment. He knows. He's not the one talking. And I want Nigerian security forces to make sure they round Buhari up when his tenure is getting over in February, because he has questions to come and answer because of the genocidal issues, the massive killings, the 6 million, AK-47s littering the streets of the country, no justice, there is no arrest. Let me not deviate. Let me come back to the press freedom as entrenched or postulated in the Nigerian constitution, the fraudulent constitution anyways, that will soon be done away with, because a national confab is going to be the first thing OP is going to do come next year, in the next few months. Anybody who is threatening press freedom and is not yet a presidential candidate is culpable of treasonable felony, because this election is an election of our lives. We cannot joke with it. We see the hunger in the land. We see the massive migration. We see the massive intentional insecurity. Up to now, a nation with the largest infantry in the whole of Africa cannot bring out the people that killed Deborah, a young girl, a Nigerian girl who was just a student who did nothing. Up to now, we don't know who bombed Kuje prison. We don't know who kidnapped Abuja Kaduna Railway with 6 billion naira ransom paid from those who were victims. And we have a nation who boasts of the DSS, intelligence. Now they are mounting pressure on US, on the European Union to go on to go and arrest one Samuel Ekpa. They are mounting pressure on different countries. So you cannot tell me what is happening internally. You can mount pressure on bodies outside your territories, and you are telling me you don't know what is going on in your country. I say capital rejectamento. The federal government is culpable. Everybody who have said, every senator who have said, I call on Nigerians. I call on you right now. Wherever you are, you know any senator who have said for the past 7 years, from next month, January, don't let them run away from this country. They must give account. They must all serve as accomplices. The killings, the bloodletting, the blood spilling that took place in this nation, nationwide. This President Buhari, the Vice President Osinbajo, the ministers, the Speaker of the Senate, or the rep members, they are all going to be, facing trials, because it is not business as usual. Times are changing. Things are evolving. So this election is an election of our lives. Bola Tinubu should be called into questioning. He should be interrogated. No man is above the law in a democracy. And I believe that things will not continue to be like this. There's a glimpse of hope coming, because the God who has kept us up to now, in spite of what is happening, if what is happening in Nigeria, 3% of it happens in some countries, the country will be burnt. It will be burnt into hatches. You will not know that country anymore. So there's an invisible hand, in the affairs of Nigeria. And that hand is about to give way for the right things to be done, for justice to be served. So for me, I believe freedom of justice. I believe freedom of expression is allowed in a democracy. And APC deserve to be disqualified just now, as people are already campaigning in different quarters. Tinubu should be disqualified. Otherwise, what is his medical status? These are questions Nigerians are asking, and we deserve answers. Gentlemen and ladies, Nigeria is now never. Thank God for platforms. Thank God for the emergence of social media. We were taught in school that the law, the judiciary, is the hope of is the last hope of the common man. And now we've cracked that theory. We've broken it, and we came out to say the social media has become the last hope of the common man. The Nigerian government now, they don't listen to you anymore in Nigeria. When you come out, they kill you. When you talk, they demolish your house. So the only thing they fear now is the social media. So guys, what we are doing here is far-reaching. Other media platforms who have the same ideology are doing well, and I'm very sure something good is coming. Some nations like Singapore, like Malaysia, like Vietnam, like Cambodia, they were once in Nigeria in the 60s and 70s. Obasanjo recalled in tears a few months ago in London that Singapore came to him in 1977 to take a loan when he was a military president. He said Singapore came cap in hand. Malaysia had to seek permission for them to be allowed into the Midwestern region, present-day Edo State, to come and study how to farm palm kernel. Today, they shot themselves, this country, from third world country into the first world countries. So that happened because of leadership. Our leaders are capable from 1960 to 1999, and from those who are alive and up to now, they deserve to face punishments. If you ask me, they should be tried. Our constitution should be amended or destroyed. A new constitution should be rewritten. And we should have a negotiation, whether we want to stay as one nation or we want to stay as regions and have a weak center. Because a confederation is what has been postulated from the 1970s. So the country is a total mess. Shame on everybody who calls themselves or who call themselves leaders in this country, in this social, fraudulent contraction called Nigeria. They failed the country. The youth have run away, men and women, able-bodied men. We are being enslaved by our own people. It's just another modern day slavery. Political leaders enslaving their own people. So guys, the only hope we have, the only shining light at the end of the tunnel, and the tunnel ends is not far away. It's very close. It's Mr. Peter Obi. I believe in him. I believe in his person. He's a responsible family man, and he has proven that over the years. A responsible governor who left money in the treasury of his state when others were busy looting their own monies to the Western world, buying real estate, marrying wives, and they claim that they want to unify the country because they have about 20 wives from 20 regions of the nation. But Peter Obi has proven it. That is a man of character. He did business in the United Kingdom. He has no stain on his name. He went to school. He has been to a lot of countries, and he has no drug charge. He has no fraudulent charge. He has no court case. He has not been charged even in Asemsa. Come on, he's very visible to the blind. It's audible to the deaf that we do not have anybody else now to look up to. So guys, don't be discouraged. John E., I totally understand you. With people like you, you make me reflect. It's not easy to be dealt a big blow. I don't know what Nigeria has done to you, but it has happened to nearly everybody in one way or the other. I do not blame you in the way you think now. So I cannot tell you what to believe, but I see when we wanted to know that we don't have any other country we can call our own. No matter the passport you are carrying now, home is home, my dear brother. So we should not give up hope. People commit suicide. People do nasty things when they lose hope. So guys, let's keep a little hope, a little thread of hope in Mr. Peter Obi. I'll drop it here, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Alex. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for your continuous, passionate delivery on this platform. This is what I stand for a better Nigeria. Whatever we are doing here, we are not doing it for money. Nobody paid us to do what we're doing. None of our panelists here we talk to in advance before we come on air. Leftist is here, is a witness. We don't call any panelists to tell them, oh, please come on air with us, and this is what we want you to talk about. Everybody come here for the sake of a better Nigeria. I want to say we are grateful to every one of you for pouring out your heart how it is. Anyhow, like Mr. Alex just said, anyhow anybody express their concern, their plight about the current situation of Nigeria, we shouldn't stone them. Although we can disagree, but we shouldn't stone them. Because everybody are frustrated, including myself. We all were born inside this mess. And we are still in the mess. Very sad. Leftist, back to you. Thank you.
Yes, even now, we know who they mess again. The thing don't metamorphose to shit. We are in the shit now. Mess be fair good, but now you don't graduate to shit. Otherwise, not be me fair talker. The past America presidency now with you shit hole. Even even at the even can add join the shit. We would they because of leadership problem. Most of the leaders that have been representing us has been disgracing us all over the world, internationally and locally. And this is not acceptable. We got that name during Buhari regime that African leaders and Nigerian leaders, Nigeria is a shithole country. It was during Buhari regime, this APC regime, now will get shithole name. Because Buhari went there he said, we have a dead president. It's not me that said it. The past president of the America, who is not afraid, he say it the way it is. He doesn't care about you. He's just saying it the way it is. This is freedom of press.
Yes, you're right, Leftist. He said he looks lifeless. He said when I shook him, he looked lifeless. Donald Trump.
Guys, we should not forget things easily. This is social media. So I wonder when people come here to talk without not going back to history or where we're coming from. We cannot forget. You cannot forget yesterday. Because yesterday is making your today. Your today is going to make your tomorrow. So guys, let's start making our tomorrow now. And the only way we can do that is bring all these old people, all these mumu, bring them down. Let's start to put intelligent people at the helms of our affair. Not just intelligent, because some people can be very intelligent in stealing. People that are patriotic, people that have clean hands, bring them on board. People that believe in you and believe in themselves. People that want the best for your country, for their own country. This is what we need. Exactly. So if we continue like this, it's going to be very difficult. Very, very difficult. Now we are not good at anything. Football. Even oil.
Mr. Alice, sorry, Mr. Leftist, I would like us to quickly reference to this video before we move on to Breadman. You know, all right, let's quickly reference to this video.
Knowing about the
many of us have seen this video before, but we are referencing to many old videos right now.
Battles of the oligarchy from the Ali must go crisis when we were very young. And then we had different issues with this country and with the leadership of this country. Even when Buhari came into power the first time, when he came to UBTH, when Dr. Scott Mwakwa was rolling an empty trolley to go and meet him, then I was already a medical doctor and I was doing internship in the UBTH. The youths of today do not understand those they are dealing with. They are dealing with old warriors, old oligarchists who know how to fight. One of the things they are going to do is that they are going to use fear and intimidation. They might roll the army out very soon and they will shoot a few youths dead to intimidate others to run into their shells. The next thing they will do is to start arresting people piecemeal by piecemeal. They will target somebody, arrest that person, target another person, arrest another person, and before you know it, fear will start creeping into the system. Then the next thing they do is assassination. Remember Kudirat? They will start eliminating people one after the other. Remember Kokori, Frank Kokori, and the rest that they arrested during the Nupen crisis, during June 12 crisis. They will start eliminating people one after the other, either by assassinating them, by imprisoning them. They will drive them out of the country. Remember Nadeko, they will run into exile. But if you don't give up, some of those oppressing people today are beneficiaries of the struggle of people like Enahoro and the rest others who did not benefit much from the struggle. And so, they will want to fight back. Another system they use is to get hungry young men and individuals who are instruments that suffer from the Stockholm syndrome I told you. Remember Abacha's crisis? There was one young Igbo boy. I can't remember his name, I think it's Kanu, that established one group. They went to Abuja, held conferences, held rallies to support Sani Abacha. But that was a great mistake they made. When they took Ijaw boys from the Niger Delta to Abuja, and they saw the beautiful houses in Abuja that were built with their oil money. They did not know they were provoking a crisis they could not manage. That was how men and other people came up, and then amnesty eventually came. The next thing they will do is that they will start settling some of the leadership. They will corner them, settle them, give them offices and all that. Give them money, give them promises, and then you will see people antagonizing each other. The next one they will do, and they're already doing it, is to play the North-South game. I saw some young men in the North with caps. They say they are youths. They say that they want SAS. They want SAS. I agree with you. It's a democratic setting. You have crisis in the North. But let me tell you, if the army could not defeat Boko Haram, SAS cannot defeat Boko Haram. Let me tell you the truth. Those young men or whoever who came with long caps, they are not the poor of the North. When I recorded here, there were northerners digging ridges for me. The poor of the North have no voice. They don't come on radio. They don't come on television. They can't even speak English. Let me tell you one thing. If you are in the North, they use you to fight your youths in the South. Poverty will not leave the North immediately. Poor education will not leave the North immediately. It is only the children of the rich that will benefit. Let me tell you another thing they will do. I saw some people in Sapele, people from my area, old irresponsible men saying that we want SAS, we want SAS. Maybe they don't have children who drive cars. Maybe they don't have children who have gone to universities. But the point remains, one day intimidation will come to them. If you support a tiger, if you feed a tiger, it will eventually eat you. The other system is that if they don't use the regional card, they will use the religious card. They will say it is Christians that are protesting. They will say it is Southern Christians that are protesting against the North. That is the divide and rule technique. It will not work in this era because in my time there was no social media. There were no hand phones. Today, everything is captured live. Today, the global arena is observing us and they are watching us. I want to suggest that the international community, United States of America, the UK, France, they should be watching. Any oppressor, deny him and his children visa. Seize his assets overseas. Don't let them travel to your countries to come and enjoy democracy while they are killing us here. Seize their assets. Let's lock down these criminals of this nation inside this nation with us. We will see who will survive. God bless you. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. The battle is just beginning. God bless you.
Wow. I thought I should bring that video back again so that we can sensitize some of our people out there that are still a bit skeptical of their own decision. Thank you very much, Breadman. If you're right there, please talk to us.
I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
The pen is mightier than the sword. That is something written by, I think, an English writer by the name Edward. It says the pen is mightier than the sword. It's only a foolish man that fights the man with the pen. And the man with the pen is the media, is the press man. So Tinubu picked up the wrong fights. And the people around him, people that advises him, fortunately, they don't give him good advice. And this is just the beginning of that fight. But there's one person that loses at the end of the day, and it's the person that is being written about, not the writer. So that's just to conclude my submission on that issue about Tinubu trying to strangle, refire, and indeed the freedom of press or the media in the Nigerian airspace. So Wike and the play going on in River State. Well, it's politics. He said if he opens his mouth, when he starts his own. Wike has been saying that he's going to say something, he's going to brag something. I'm still waiting for Wike. Wike has never dropped anything that we don't know. You know, I mean, he gave us a little bit of information, but it's still politics. For me, I see Wike as trying to. Wike does not want to leave PDP. Wike knows that Atiku is going to lose, that he's going to go back to Dubai, and PDP is going to disintegrate, and Wike will end up being that pillar who was rejected and became the cornerstone. So good luck to Wike and his fight in River State. And the third video was this last one I just saw right now. Who is that guy, Mr. Naija Watch?
Is a consigned Nigerian who based in Nigeria. His name is Mr. Chas.
And he was making that video under the rain.
Yeah.
You see, these are people who, you know, have conscience. And everything the man said made a lot of sense. And I second to everything he has said. And I hope the international community are paying attention and they see this kind of video to make sure that any of these politicians that deny Nigerians the dividends of democracy would suffer, you know, the consequences of being traitors to their own country. Lastly, let me address Mr. John E. To be honest with you, I'm not happy. I was staying here listening. I was adding to my little knowledge from what Mr. Ike was submitting. And I think it was very, very rude to make him, you know, lose his train of thoughts, especially when, you know, the question that was being asked was unrelated to what he was saying. I think it's very, very, you know, unnice. It was rude. I think you should apologize to Mr. Ike. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother, Jija Breadman. That was brief. I wish everyone can always be like this so that we can move on the time. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Now,
we are the ones running this election through them. Let us vote them in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Malby. Mr. Alex, your 1 minute, please. Okay.
Yes, I just want to thank you for the program, you and your team. Thank you. Good night.
Good night, my brother. Thank you very much for your encouragement. I want to use this opportunity to thank every one of you that have supported us today, that have joined this broadcast. Every one of you, I can see some names right there who started with us from the beginning in this moment. I want to say we are grateful. Those of you that have shared this broadcast, thank you. Those of you that have liked the broadcast, thank you. All our panelists, thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. All our callers, we want to say we are grateful. Thank you. Without you guys, we can't do this. We're going to be back again tomorrow by 10 a.m. with Ima. As you all know that we are here Monday to Monday, 10 a.m. for news review with Ima, Monday to Saturday. And tomorrow, the same thing we did today, we're going to start it again tomorrow, all over again by 5 p.m. till Thursday, while Fridays, our debates, Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. We are here 7 days a week. We are here crying together to save Nigeria. That's what we are doing. And who do we choose? We know that can save Nigeria for us is Mr. Peter Obi. And we are here doing it together. Thank you very much, my people. I appreciate every one of you. Those of you that have super chatted us, thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your financial support. We are very, very grateful. Trust me, you guys are the one giving us the energy to do what we're doing today. Thank you. I will say good night to every one of you. Bye for now. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. I. All right. Lefty, do you have anything you want to say quickly, or I should just
No, it's okay for me. It's good night. I'm only surprised that Mr. Alex just did it very short. I never believed it.
That's Alex for you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
He was sleeping.